The Generals are here tonight in their white jerseys with gray numerals, blue helmets, and blue pants. And I tell you, the gray numerals from up here in the press box are going to present a challenge.
Yeah, and we've talked with both Andy McCracken and Jimmy Mundy, and they're a little bit younger than we are, and they can't see him as well. So it's not just me and you, Dave.
Well, for the Altavista Colonels, we know that number 11 is out there, and that, of course, is Juan Thornhill and William Martin, number 74. Colonels in their black uniforms tonight with the orange trim and numerals, black helmets, and black pants, as the spirit line is forming for the Altavista Colonels as part of our Subway pregame show here on 105.5. The officials giving the instructions to both teams, and the coin toss taking place at midfield, with midfield, of course, having the Altavista A in orange on it. And Harold Drumheller looking slim and trim out there on the field tonight as the head referee. He indicates that William Campbell has won the toss, and they defer for the first half, which is what we've seen Altavista do many times. So tonight the Colonels will have the tables turned on them.
And, excuse me, Dave, but just as we look across the crowd, William Campbell looks like they've brought about 25 people. Even the Altavista side's a little bit light tonight, and I think you got to believe that's a hangover from last week with the rivalry game with Gretna.
That could well be, and you hope that the Altavista football team doesn't have any kind of hangover from last week. You heard Coach Sharness talk about guarding against the letdown, and it's easier said than done, I can tell you that. Last week's game with a lot of emotion with the Gretna Hawks, which the Altavista Colonels won 35-14. But tonight, it's a different story and a different ball game, and the Generals would like to bounce back from their previous meeting with the Colonels where they lost in Naruna, trying to turn the tables tonight as we wrap up the Subway pregame show here on 105.5 KD Country, thanks to the Subways inside Walmart in Altavista and also on Main Street. With that location, it's been there, I guess, about a year now. And a reminder to all you William Campbell and Altavista fans, if you have relatives or friends outside of our regular listening area, you can listen to the game on the internet. On kdcountry.com, there's a little listen link on the upper right-hand corner of our website, and the internet broadcast is sponsored by Walmart in Altavista. They're on Clarion Road. So just a reminder, if you can't get it working for you for some reason, call Nick at the radio station, and he'll help you out, get on the internet if you want to listen to the broadcast. So the spirit line is formed. The Altavista Colonels are out in the field, and the Generals from William Campbell are embarking to our right. They'll come from the scoreboard end of the stadium. The Colonels with their back to Bedford Avenue to our left. And just a quick mention of our sponsors tonight: English Construction Company, Feller Chevrolet, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, English's Building Supply and Hardware, Apple Auto Glass, First National Bank, the Apple Markets, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. They help make the broadcast possible, so we hope you'll step up and give them your thanks for putting these games on the radio. So, I'm sorry.
Beautiful night for football, a little bit overcast. There is a possibility of some threatening weather, but we think that'll hold off. Virtually no breeze tonight, so shouldn't have a big effect on the kicking game. A little bit cooler now. It is humid, but it's into that Friday night lights and great football weather.
You bring up a good point about the weather. There is a chance of showers. It possibly could have some effect on the game later on. Mulbeck and Thornhill are back deep for the Colonels, standing just outside of the goal line. Here's the kickoff. It's a high end-over-end kick that drives Thornhill back into the end zone about 8 yards. He will down it there. Good kickoff by the William Campbell Generals. And the Colonels will start at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
That was a booming kick. That's it, eight yards deep into the end zone, and you rarely see that in high school. But if I recall from William Campbell when we were there before, that kicker's got that kind of leg.
Yeah, they kick off from their own 40-yard line, so that's more than a 60-yard boot, about 68 yards. That's a big kick in high school. Colonels come out in their spread formation. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 running backs, and a man in motion coming this way is Malbeck. And the snap to Thornhill, he hands off the right side, running hard. I'm sorry, double check that number for me, Oscar.
That was Jacob Hawkins.
Yeah. All right, number 5 rather than number 4, as the man took the handoff, and the Colonels pick up 5 on the play. It's 2nd and 5 from the Altavista 25. Colonels going left to right in front of us. Now Thornhill has a running back on each side of him, 2 wide receivers to the far side. Molbeck coming in motion across the formation. Fakes to handoff to Molbeck, and Thornhill carries the ball up across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and he's down there as he rolled to his right.
Damian Lockett had a head of steam, was able to, Juan looked like he had some room to run, but Damian Lockett drug him down from behind. Nice play from the William Campbell Generals.
So it's 3rd down and 3 for Altavista. Gives them a couple of options, either passing or running on this distance for 3rd down. From the shotgun, Thornhill sets, calls the signals, gets the snap, rolls to his left, wants to throw. He does, almost intercepted, but caught, and down the sideline is the Altavista receiver into William Campbell territory at the 30-yard line.
Boy, nice play. Juan had time to run. He had plenty of yardage where he could have gotten the first down, but saw Johnson out, and you said the ball was almost intercepted. Johnson was able to get the tip and ran it down, and they're going to mark it at the 24-yard line.
The defender tipped it up in the air, and Johnson was right there waiting for it, and nobody else was out there to tackle him, so he turned it into a big play for the Altavista Colonels. Colonels have had a lot of big plays this season. 1st and 10 from the 24 of William Campbell. Thornhill gives up the middle, and no gain there for the Altavista running game. Nice defense by the Generals.
And that was again, going back, that big play was 47 yards. So that got the Colonels in good field position, another 10 yards, and they'll be within the, if they need that, they'll be in the kicking distance of Walker Allen.
Jacob Hawkins getting the start tonight, and he's 5'7", 158 pounds. He loses a yard on the play. 2nd and 11 from the far hash mark. Thornhill looking things over. Man in motion is Molbeck coming this way. He gives to him. Molbeck around the corner, across the 20. Nobody will catch him as he gets inside the 10. Touchdown. So the Colonels found a good running play as they use a little deception. Molbeck coming in motion toward this side of the field. And, boy, once he got through the line of scrimmage, Oscar, there was no stopping him.
William Campbell actually did a good job of turning that play back into the middle. They sealed that corner, and once he got past that initial linebacker, he was gone.
The Colonels will try for the extra point here with Thornhill holding, and Walker Allen with the extra point attempt. It's up and plenty of distance through the uprights. And the Colonels lead with 9:36 to go in the first quarter. Timeout with the score, Altavista 7 and William Campbell nothing.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
High school football, the first quarter of play, which is brought to you by the Apple Markets in Altavista. There are 3 area locations, Riverside, Main Street, and also the Gateway location at Main Street and Bedford Avenue.
And William Campbell deferred, gave the ball to the Colonels, kicked it into the end zone. Nice drive, 5 plays, 80 yards. It took up 2 minutes, 24 seconds. 9:36 remaining in the first quarter. Colonels lead 7-0.
So the Colonels will get set to kick off here. William Campbell with 2 men deep back at their own 8-yard line. And I'll strain to see if I can see those numbers. Naturally, they're turned sideways. Looks like number 6 across the far side, Jamar Wilkes. We'll see if I'm right.
And looks like Easley's over in the back on this side, Dave.
All right. Walker Allen ready to approach the football. Checks his starters on the field. Make sure they're the right number. And here's the end-over-end kick. Coming down at the 10-yard line. Bubbled there as the Colonel's defense gets through there. Trying to bring down number 1, Tavon Easley, who ran around the right side. He turned what could have been a disaster into some decent field position for the Generals. They could have been back at their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, they could. You could see he was looking up, seeing where his blocking was, and wasn't able to corral the ball. Colonels had a couple of players down, but looked like they let up a little bit, and they paid for it.
So the Generals will start at their own 25-yard line.
It could be me.
First and 10 for William Campbell. From the far hash mark now, Generals with the scoreboard to their back here at English Stadium. Colonels shuffle their defense. Man in motion to the far side, and the quarterback is back to pass, and I believe it was batted away there by the Altavista defense.
Looked like Cody Andrews was able to get his hand up and deflect that pass.
Tyrell Staten, the quarterback, number 9.
Second 10, Generals.
And so it's second down and 10 for William Campbell. As they get the play in from the sideline, it's a no-huddle offense, or the West Coast offense with the shotgun or spread formation. 2 wide receivers to this side, man in motion on the far side. Coming this way, they give to the running back going to the right side. He's thrown back for a loss as penalty flags come out along the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if it's offside or movement. All right. So the officials sort this out. It is against William Campbell. And there's movement up on the line of scrimmage.
And that's a generous spot for William Campbell. They're showing a 1-yard loss, and I thought it was closer to 3 or 4.
Unless they said forward progress to be marked at the 24, Oscar. I agree with you. I thought it was about 2 or 3 yards farther back. Generals with 3rd and 10. Man in motion coming this way. Penalty flags. The referees stopped the play, I believe.
Yeah, refs blew the play dead
before it started.
Flags.
So we'll wait to let the officials sort it out here.
I think they realized they were going to spot.
Well, they had moved the ball back up to right at the 25-yard line. They've replaced the ball at the 24.
About a yard on that previous play, so it brings up 3rd and 11.
All right, so 3rd and 11 rather than 3rd and 10. You're right. The spot was previously generous, but the officials corrected it. And here come the Generals on 3rd and long. Back to pass is Staten down the far sideline. Overthrows the receiver. Pretty good coverage over there by number 4 for the Colonels, Jacob East. And so it'll bring up 4th down with the incomplete pass. Staten is just a freshman at 5'6". He might be a little taller than that, 175 pounds.
He's got a good arm. He kind of did a pump fake on that. Jacob East bit at if the receiver would continue his route, he might gain some yards.
Here's the punter. Gets an end-over-end kick away, but it's low, and the Colonels will not have a return as it bounces across the 50-yard line into Altavista territory. Molbeck didn't even attempt to get it, and wisely so with the low punt. The coverage was downfield very quickly, and that's the smart play in that instance. And you got to remind me to ask you, Oscar, you call him Michi, and I wonder why.
Demetrius, and they just shortened it to Michi.
All right.
That's what the kids call him. That's really what the coaches call him.
Well, for those of us that don't listen all the time, we're not up on all this big lingo. So Michi is in the ball game as a wide receiver. Colonels get the snap back to Thornhill, and now officials throw a flag on the play. offside William Campbell, and they step off 5 yards against the Generals into William Campbell territory. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the Generals' 48-yard line. So this is some early previews of what has been William Campbell's problem during the season. They still got plenty of time to sort it out tonight. 2nd and 5. Thornhill gets the snap. He looks to the right side, coming around the corner. Jukes one man, gets to the outside, across the 40, 35, hit hard as he's driven out of bounds in front of the Altavista bench at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Altavista. So a nice bit of reading the defense by Juan Thornhill.
And Juan's shown a propensity to do that this year. He gets into that open field situation. He really does a good job reading. A nice block by Michi all back out on the edge that time to get him a few extra yards.
1st and 10 at the William Campbell 33. Generals send one wide receiver to the far side, and that's Demetrius Johnson. 2 men on this side, Molbeck included in motion, goes to the far side of the field, and they hand off to the running back up the middle. Big hole, splits the defenders, can't shake free. Number 15 for the Colonels, Daquan Myers, with a big run.
That's one of the bigger runs we've seen for Daquan. He hadn't been much of a horse this year. There's been one of the further down the line options, but he showed a great acceleration getting that into the secondary, got down to the 15-yard line, gain of 18.
1st and 10, Altavista at the William Campbell 15-yard line. And it'll be 2 wide receivers to this side, 1 man on the far side for Altavista from the shotgun. Thornhill has it. He'll come to the right, looking for a lane. Sidesteps 1 man, bulls his way across the 5-yard line, lowering his shoulder and taking a defender with him, handing out some punishment. Juan Thornhill is stopped just short of the goal line.
You know, and Juan stretched his arm out again. He's doing that more and more, trying to gain that extra yardage. The ball did bounce loose when it hit the ground, but his knees were already down.
And it's 1st and goal at the 2-yard line of William Campbell.
Nice block by Daquan Myers out of the backfield to spring Juan on that run.
So the Colonels come up to the line, the ball here on the near hash mark. 2 men in the backfield. Full house backfield as Thornhill goes under center. He'll hand to number 5 off the left side for the Colonels. Jacob Hawkins has the carry. He's close, but only gets a yard. We'll wait for, I'm sure that's the short of the goal line.
Yeah, they're calling it, looks like, they marked it a full yard short.
So it'll bring up 2nd and goal for Altavista. Knocking on the door of the Generals with Altavista leading 7-0. Straight forward is Thornhill. And both lines officials signal touchdown Altavista. It took them a little while, I think, to unpile for the referees to actually spot it there. So the Colonels add their 2nd touchdown of the 1st quarter. This quarter of the broadcast brought to you by the Apple Markets, 3 locations in the Altavista area. Colonels will try the extra point with Walker Allen attempting the conversion. He was very good last week, getting better as a freshman as it goes along. Here's the kick up, plenty of distance, but it goes to the left. And I spoke just a little too soon. We'll take a timeout. With 6:50 left in the 1st quarter, timeout with the score, Altavista 13, William Campbell nothing.
For more than 103 years, we've offered special banking assistance to many nonprofit organizations. I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Dave Haney and Oscar Briggs at English Stadium in Altavista. Colonels have another quick scoring drive.
Boy, Dave, 6 plays, 53 yards. It took them 1 minute and 54 seconds. 6:50 remaining here in the 1st quarter. Colonels lead 13-0, and of course that came off a great defensive stand where, 3 and out. And, William Campbell's got to burn some clock and got to get some yardage to slow down this Colonel's offense.
Generals dropped 2 men back deep. They're again about the 8-yard line. Had a little trouble with the last kickoff. We'll see how it goes. We had Easley on this side before, and the angle's not too good from here to see, but I believe it's Damon Easley again here along the near sideline. As the Colonels get set, William Campbell is set. 5 guys up between the 45 and 50-yard line. Here's Walker Allen's boot. It's nice end-over-end kick that comes down to Easley at the 16-yard line. Up the middle, had a big lane for a while, but the Colonels bunched up and stopped him as he crossed the 35-yard line. Good coming together there at the end of the run by the Altavista defense. There was a gang there.
Yeah, there was. It looked like he had a significant hole, and the second wave of the Colonels' special teams, kickoff team, was able to get down and close that hole up. But good starting field position at the 37-yard line for William Campbell.
So the Generals will start at their own 37, 1st and 10. They come out in their spread formation. Actually, they got a man in motion to the far side. They hand to him, number 5, going around the far side. Nice tackle there. 2 Altavista defenders. One got him high and one got him low. And that looked like Marcus Adams.
It was, and a loss. They're going to call it a loss of 2 on that play. Sets them back to the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Good defense by the Colonels as they penetrated the right side of the William Campbell line, and 2 guys closed on Marcus Adams real quickly. 2nd and 12 from the 35-yard line of William Campbell. Colonels with their 3-man defensive front. Snaps back to the quarterback, Staten. He throws, and incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver. Crossing route over the middle intended for number 11, LaShawn Lee.
You know, Dave, he did a pump fake over here to the left out in the flat, went back to the slant on the right. The receiver was wide open, 10 yards downfield, hit him right in the hands. I think he heard footsteps.
Yeah, one of the Altavista defenders coming real hard. Thornhill right at the end of that play. So the safety doing a great job. It's 3rd and 12 for William Campbell. Staten back to pass again. Looks to the far side. Airs it out downfield. Overthrows the receiver by quite a bit. Nobody was really in the area. Covering over there for the Colonels was Jacob East, riding stride for stride with the receiver along the far sidelines. So it'll bring up 4th down, 5:57 to go. First quarter of play, Altavista leads 13-0. And Malbeck will drop back for the punt. Here's the snap. Big rush coming. They get a high end-over-end kick away, but it's not very long. Hits at the 47-yard line. Takes a William Campbell roll inside the 45 to the Altavista 43. But that was higher than it was longer as the Colonels take over on downs.
Yeah, 22-yard punt. So, again, we see special teams popping its head up here early in the ball game as well.
Colonels have a very well-rounded football team as far as their offense, defense, and special teams are concerned. Good balance between them all, well coached. We talked in the pregame show about what Mike Sharness has done in 6 quick years here at Altavista, including a state championship and numerous playoff games. 1st and 10, Altavista. Thornhill in the backfield, hands off to number 5, Jacob Hawkins, but a penalty flag has come out, and it is against the Altavista Colonels. That really stopped the play before it developed, and that'll back Altavista up 5 yards.
Bring up a 1st and 15. Somebody looked like on the right side of the line jumped.
I think you're right. 38-yard line of Altavista. It's on the near hash mark, so the short side of the field is alongside the Colonel's bench here, as Thornhill has 2 running backs beside him from the shotgun position. Malbeck in motion to the far side. Here's the snap. Thornhill gives to the running back, up the middle, spins, but he's caught by a host of William Campbell defenders and spun backwards.
And I think there's no gain on that play at all.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Maybe a gain of a yard. We'll see exactly where the spot ends up. Looks like the 39-yard line. So bring up 2nd and 14. Colonel's going left to right in front of us toward the scoreboard end of English Stadium, decked out in their black uniforms with the orange trim this evening. Colonel's come up to the line of scrimmage. Second down. Man in motion is Molbeck going to the far side. They send a defender with him, and Thornhill will roll to that side. Tries to set and pass, can't do it. Breaks free from one tackle, but there's too many men beyond the line of scrimmage for the William Campbell Generals, and Thornhill couldn't get out of the box. And a good defensive play by the Generals. Loss on the play for Altavista.
They're going to call a loss of 5, and Thornhill, that was nice coverage downfield by William Campbell. He thought he had an open receiver, and the defensive back closed quickly and forced the sack.
Moves the ball inside the 35 at the 34-yard line of Altavista. Third and 18 for the Colonels. Molbeck sending a play in from the sidelines, talks to Thornhill, and then put 3 wide receivers on the far side for Altavista. Thornhill hands off the pitch up the middle, and it's good yardage up the middle, but not nearly enough for the first down.
Pitch play goes to Jacob Hawkins.
Jacob Hawkins was the man who got the pitch from Thornhill.
They're going to mark that at 39, call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down and 14. This will be the first punt opportunity for the Colonels tonight.
So they'll have to punt it away here as the Generals drop one man back inside their own 25-yard line. Generals showing a blitz up front there, trying to block this punt. Long count. Here's the snap. And they get the kick away, end over end, but it's only a short kick as it hits at the 40 of William Campbell. It gets a good roll down to the 31-yard line of William Campbell, covered there by number 73, Casey McLeese, for the Colonels. And be first and 10, William Campbell. 3:11 to go in the first quarter. 13-0, the Colonels lead.
30-yard punt. Semi-effective. No run, no return. Kind of battling out here the last 2 possessions in the middle of the field.
The Generals got a pretty good rush on that play, and the kicker had to get it away fairly quickly, or it could have been blocked. So that may be part of the reason for the distance. And we've got a timeout on the field with the score: Altavista 13, William Campbell nothing.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
This first quarter of our William Campbell Altavista game being brought to you by the Apple Market's 3 locations in the Altavista area: Riverside, Main Street, and Gateway. Dave Haney along with Oscar Briggs.
Dave, 2 3-and-outs for William Campbell so far, and they've got -3 yards.
All right, they'll have to turn that around, and still plenty of time in the ball game left as we are down to the final 10 seconds of the quarter. Well, I'm sorry, this is the timeout clock going here now. Once it resets, now we're ready to go with 3:11 left in the first quarter. William Campbell with 2 receivers to this side of the formation, 1 to the far side, handed to running back. He's bottled up in the middle, but spins free, gets to the right side, turns the corner, and it's going to be a foot race as he crosses the 40, the 50, the 40, pushing off a tackler. They can't grab him, and touchdown, William Campbell. Wow, what an interesting bunch of running with the stiff arm, and it's really hard to see that numbers.
Looks like it was Damian Luckett, number 13.
That's number 13, Damian Lockett for the Generals.
And I apologize for the gray numerals just fading away out there, at least in the distance, on the William Campbell jerseys. But nevertheless, the Generals get on the board with a big running play, and Lockett was using a stiff arm to hold off the man trying to tackle him half the way down the field from about the 50 to the goal line. So here's the Generals with the extra point attempt. They get it up, and a penalty flag comes out, as I believe they might have run into the kicker. I believe the point is good, and so I think that'll be assessed on the kickoff, won't it?
I think that's absolutely correct, Dave.
Wait for the referees to sort it out here, but the extra point attempt, the Colonels definitely ran into the kicker.
The extra point is good.
And it is good.
Tells you to go against.
So, timeout on the field with 2:57 left in the first quarter. It's Altavista 13, William Campbell 7.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
The William Campbell Generals have battled back here in the first quarter to tighten up this ball game, Oscar.
Boy, you hate to call it a score and drive when it's one play, but one play, 69 yards, it took them 14 seconds, and 13-7, we got a ball game.
That looked like that play was going to be stopped as the ball carrier tried to go up the middle and somehow bounced out of all of that humanity and got to the outside, and then it turned out to be a foot race down the field. So Malbec drops back at his own goal line, and he is the only man back deep. I think the Colonels are daring the Generals to kick off short, but it's a high end-over-end kick that's going to hit at the end line. That's a 70-yard boot as it goes out of bounds. Nobody can return it anyway. And that Damian Lockett kicking off. Wow, that was an impressive kick. College scouts got to like the looks of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. What a weapon. You're starting, instead of starting at the 30-35 with a return, you're starting at the 20. Special teams can play a big difference in the ball game tonight.
So that's 80 yards to go for the Altavista Colonels. And they come up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their own 20. Ball midway between the hash marks. Thornhill with two running backs beside him, two wide receivers to the far side. Thornhill hands off to the running back around the left side. It's going to be a foot race, one man to beat down the sideline across the 50, the 40, the 30-yard line. And a nice play by the Altavista Colonels around the left side. Damian Myers, the ball carrier. Daquan Myers?
Myers.
Down the far side. Boy, he's got the afterburners turn on tonight, Oscar. That was a nice run.
Nice run of 62 yards, and there was either a horse collar or a face mask that'll be added onto the end of it. I got to believe it was those two players involved in the tackle, and, of course, Daquan with the ball. I can't think of another call that it could have been.
The Generals had a little bit of angle on Daquan, which is why he couldn't outrun the defender. It is going to be 15 yards added on against the William Campbell Generals and moves the Altavista Colonels even closer to the goal line. It's 1st and 10.
Of course, they should mark that off at the 14-yard line. Should be a half distance to the goal.
Yeah, he was brought down around the 23-yard line, maybe, somewhere in that. All right, 28. 1st and 10, Altavista. And you're right, 14-yard line of William Campbell, so the Generals with their backs to the wall. Colonels trying to answer that last scoring drive. And now we've got a timeout from the referees before play starts. Don't go anywhere. This should be brief. Harold Drumheller, the head referee, talking with his linesman just to make sure things have been set properly. And now he signals play as the clock starts up again. 2:42 to go in the first quarter. You just tuned in. Altavista leads 13-7 over William Campbell. Colonel's on the 14-yard line of William Campbell. Thornhill will keep and come around the right side. Tries to turn the corner, beats one man, hit at the 10-yard line and spun out of bounds there with a nice run for Thornhill, and good defense by the Generals.
Yeah, it was. He had a couple of cracks, but William Campbell closed them quickly, and
they did a good job of stringing the play out, so Thornhill couldn't get around the edge too far.
He had plenty of help. There were 2 or 3 William Campbell defenders there.
Brings up second down and 6 for Altavista at the 10-yard line. Thornhill with 2 running backs beside him. Now he puts one on the wing on this side, 2 receivers on the short side of the field. Thornhill barks out the signals, looks to run straight ahead, gets a block, across the 5, goal line, touchdown, Juan Thornhill off the right side.
We credit Daquan Myers. He blew up the linebacker that was coming in. He could have wrapped up one, but he absolutely blew him up on a block. Great block by Daquan Myers.
So the Colonels answer quickly with a touchdown of their own. Just 3 plays on this scoring drive, and Walker Allen will come on. Well, let's wait and see for sure whether the Colonels would try to get that missed extra point back here early in the first quarter. Leading 19-7, they are going for 2, so they try to lengthen the lead 21-7. Colonels with 2 wide receivers to the near side of the formation. Man in motion. They bunch the receivers on this side now as the Colonels are going to take a timeout. I believe that's their first one of the half. Timeout with the score. Well, let's hold on here. This is just a short timeout as Mike Sharness wants to talk things over on the extra point attempt. Was it perhaps a feint to try to see what William Campbell was going to do before they actually decided to go for 2 points? Maybe the Colonels didn't like the defensive alignment.
Yeah, and that scoring drive was 3 plays, 80 yards. Nice response to the touchdown from William Campbell.
We talked about a letdown earlier in the show, and the Colonels were guarding against that after last week's big emotional victory, first one in 14 years, over the Gretna Hawks 35-14. Trying to make sure they can handle the William Campbell Generals tonight. The Generals bounced back with a big touchdown play of their own, and now the Colonels looks like they will try the conventional 1-point attempt as, well, double check that. No, they're going to go for 2. So Thornhill will be the quarterback from the shotgun. He has running backs on each side of him. Well, now he sends one up into the wingback spot. Number 5, Jacob Hawkins, stands beside Thornhill. He rolls to this side, throws, low pass, and caught. The referee at the goal line signals caught by number 1, Moldbeck. A sliding catch as he gets his hands under the ball, and the referee was right on top of it as the Colonels convert for 2.
Boy, nice athletic play by Michi on that. As he was sliding, was able to get his hands under the ball, and the ref was within 5 yards, had the great angle, made the proper call. Colonels leading 21-7, 2:21 remaining here in the first quarter.
So the Altavista Colonels will set up for the kickoff as they took some time to make sure they had the right play in for the 2-point conversion, and Mike Sharness makes it pay off. Of course, the team has to execute. 2:21 to go in the first quarter.
And with this William Campbell team, they're getting desperate to the point, and I don't mean that their season's in desperation, but at 0-5 and right on that last bubble spot for playoff, they've got to start making some things happen. And they had a nice touchdown run. They were pretty excited on the sideline, and then for the Colonels to come back and take down 3 plays and get back in the end zone and spread that point lead back out to 14, I think was big right now.
Yeah, and the Generals had a tough opening 5 games of the season, not winning any of those. But if you remember back to last year, the second half of the season, they really started playing better and qualified for the playoffs at the end. So it's not too late. despite what might happen tonight to either team, Walker Allen will kick off for Altavista. Colonel's taking their time, and here comes Walker up to the ball. Low line drive kick. Hits at the 15-yard line, picked up back there by Lockett. He comes up the middle, hit hard, bounces out of that at the 25, and gets up across the 30-yard line before he's brought down. I'm sorry, that Tevin Easley is the ball carrier that time.
And nice hit by Rodney Thornhill on that tackle.
Yeah, there's a couple of good hard hits there. Hard to bring the ball carrier down. Number 9, Staten, the quarterback, just a freshman, getting an opportunity to play some quarterback here. Generals looking over to the far sideline to get their play in from the coaches.
And you know that it was easily on that return. His helmet came off at the end. With the new college rule, you have to sit out a play. And I got to believe that for the safety factor, you're going to start to see that in the high school within the next couple of years.
1st and 10 for the Generals at their own 31-yard line. Delay of game against William Campbell. Took them a long time to signal the play in from the sidelines. So that's going to back things up 5 yards to the 26-yard line of William Campbell. Generals going right to left. The scoreboard's at their back here at English Stadium. Generals run a quick play this time, and they hand off to the running back off right side. He gets the 5 yards back that they lost. And it'll bring up second down at the 31. Lee Slayton, the ball carrier.
5 yards makes it 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 31 for William Campbell.
1:47 and counting. Colonels lead 21-7 here in the first quarter.
Ball here at the near hash mark. Still taking a little while for the Generals to get the play in. They've got 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 wide out here along the near sidelines. High snap, throws out to the far side, incomplete over the head. Intended for Rashawn Lee, I believe, was the intended receiver. Big, tall receiver at 6'3" and 190 pounds. The quarterback just threw it away over the head of the intended receiver. Luckily, it was not parallel to the line of scrimmage or backwards, and it brings up 3rd and 10 for William Campbell, their own 31-yard line. 2 wideouts to each side this time. The snap back to the quarterback, number 9. Down the far side, receiver goes up and makes the catch in traffic. Good defense by the Colonels, but the big receiver, Rashawn Lee. And
29-yard gain. That was the first completion of the night for Terrell Staten, but I think that all of us in the press box up here see what they see in Staten. He's got a good arm.
And very accurate, as it turns out, on this particular play. To the 40-yard line of Altavista, 1st and 10, William Campbell, as they move into Altavista territory. So 2 wideouts to this side, 3 wideouts here along this Altavista side of the formation. They give to the running back. They had him stop momentarily. He breaks free. Took 3 guys to bring the running back down. He gets inside the 40 of Altavista.
And Darius Johnson had a heck of an opportunity, and somebody from William Campbell laid the lumber to him. He got hit hard.
Is that Damian Lockett, 13, who was the ball carrier, I think? And it'll bring up 2nd and 9 for William Campbell. Again, 3 wideouts here to this side of the formation. 1 receiver on the far side. The snap back to Slayton downfield, throws it up. The receiver goes up, makes a one-handed catch. That is the tall guy, Rashawn Lee. As we said, he's 6'3" and a senior, and he just out-jumped everybody, stuck one hand up, and hauled the ball in. 1st and 10, William Campbell marching down the field here with 22 seconds left in the first quarter.
Gain of 23 on that pass.
Altavista leads 21-7. Play coming in from the William Campbell sideline for the Generals. Take their time again to get it set. It's 3 wideouts here on this side of the formation. 1 man to the far side, 1 running back. Behind Slayton, he gives to the running back. Tries to sidestep a man. The Generals come hard with 4 defenders this time and throw him for a loss. Colonels finally figured that one out and managed to tackle low enough to stop the big running back, Damian Lockett, who's 5'11", 195 pounds, a senior for William Campbell.
Lockett's carry.
He loses 4 yards, 2nd and 14 for the Generals. They back it up to the Altavista, well, just inside the Altavista 30-yard line as time runs out at the end of the first quarter. Timeout with the score, Altavista 21, William Campbell 7.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
This second quarter of play brought to you by the Altavista area apple markets. Dave Haney alongside Oscar Briggs as we get ready to start things for this second quarter tonight at English Stadium.
Quick summary, Altavista with 161 yards on the ground in the first quarter, 47 in the air for a total of 208. William Campbell came on late after 2 3 and outs. They had 71 yards on the ground, 68 through the air, total 139. The big thing that jumps out at me on the stats right now is penalties. William Campbell with 30 yards worth of penalties.
And Altavista has 1, I think. Here's William Campbell with the ball up the middle. Big hole there. Colonel's lucky to stop him as he gets inside the 10, down close to the 5-yard line. There was a big hole in the Altavista defensive right side that Oscar Briggs probably could have barreled on through there.
I don't know if it was that big.
Okay. Anyway, it's 1st and goal for the Generals. Knocking on the door. No, I'm sorry. 3rd down and 3. Check that. Missed the sticks. 3rd down and 3. And here's Slayton, the quarterback, up the middle. Good, hard running.
Easily again on the carry.
I'm sorry, check that. It was easily carrying this time. He gets up the middle. William Campbell says they have the 1st down, and I believe the referees do too. Down to the 5-yard line. So now it'll be 1st and goal from the 5.
Nice drive by William Campbell. They are absolutely refusing to go away.
And if they can stay in this ball game, they're going to make it an interesting contest. Altavista needs to step up here with 1st and goal. This is number 3 around the left side for William Campbell. Malik Slayton on the carry. He gets a little bit of yardage. Kind of a high tackle up around the shoulder pads.
Yeah, it was interesting. It looked like it was a high tackle, and he actually, the way he spun around, it looked like it was horse collar, face mask or something. But again, difficult to see from up here, just the way his head swung around.
Just outside the 3-yard line of Altavista. Colonels with their backs to the wall on 2nd down and 3 for William Campbell. This time they go into the I formation, the quarterback up under center. And they give to the running back, busting through there, touchdown William Campbell. Just ran over a bunch of tacklers for Altavista. Big running back there. I think that was Lockett, but I'm not 100% sure. Once again, we apologize for the numbers. They are gray, light gray, it seems like, from up here. And it is Lockett. Andy McCracken confirming the call up here in the press box. So William Campbell, will they try for 2 or go for the conventional extra point and draw within 7? 9:57 to go in the first half, as the Generals will try for 1 here. Here's the snap. It's low, and he missed it.
Extra point is no good.
No good. So the Colonels turn them away, and we'll see how big that extra point attempt looms later on in the game. Timeout with the score: Altavista 21, William Campbell 13.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Your award-winning team tonight, Dave Haney and Oscar Briggs, to start the football game. We might have to take a little time out personally as the game goes along.
Boy, Dave, 11, that was a nice drive. 11 plays, 69 yards. Took them 4 minutes and 16 seconds. And again, nice response from William Campbell. Starting to see really why Coach Mullins is really excited about Terrell State, and he threw into some tight coverage on 2 occasions on that and was able to thread the needle. Nice drive.
He's got a big receiver out there in 6'3", LaShawn Lee, and he can really get up in the air, and a tough man for the Altavista defense to cover. We'll wait and see how the Altavista coaches adjust to that as the game goes on tonight. So 9:57 left in the first half of play. Looks like Malbeck waiting back at his own goal line. And let's see, is that Thornhill up at about the 10? Colonels with 4 men up along the 50-yard line waiting for the kick, which has gone into the end zone. Here's a high end over end kick. It's going to come down to Thornhill at the 9. He'll come back up the middle, sidesteps one man, breaks out of the pack and gets around to the outside on the right side across the 40-yard line, and finally the pursuit catches up with Juan Thornhill, but he did a nice job of navigating the defense.
And first opportunity for the Colonels to get a kick return, and nice run by Juan.
That's the first time that Lockett did not send it deep into the end zone. So Colonels take advantage. You pointed out earlier, it's hard to get good field position when the ball goes through the end zone, but this time we're in good shape. At the 44-yard line of Altavista, Colonels right to left now in front of us on your radio dial. 1st and 10 for the black and orange. Thornhill from the shotgun gets the snap, gives to Hawkins. Hawkins will go nowhere as the defense comes busting through. Jacob Hawkins nailed at the 40-yard line almost immediately after he got the handoff from Thornhill. He looked up the middle, saw the defense coming, tried to get to this side, but he was not going anywhere.
Looked like Tevin Easley was the one that broke through. Nice read by Tevin, and like you said, nowhere to go. Colonels have only thrown the ball one time tonight, Dave. That was for a 47-yard completion. You got to wonder if Coach Sharness is going to start to use that as he set up with the run.
From the 41, 2nd and 13 for Altavista. Thornhill coming this way, fakes once, being pursued, throws downfield, and almost caught off the fingertips of the receiver here along the near sideline. Thornhill had a man running down this side at the 35-yard line. It was thrown out of bounds, and the Colonels could not bring it in. And so it'll set up 3rd down and 13 for Altavista.
Pass was to Michi Malbeck. He had a chance to catch it, but he really had to watch his feet to make sure he didn't go out of bounds, and just wasn't able to corral the ball.
Malbeck says he needs a breather in this humid Friday night football game, as this could be an effect later on in the latter stages of the ball game, all the heat and humidity tonight. Chance of showers. Here's Thornhill on 3rd and 13. Gets the snap, will keep, runs up the middle, big break, across the 50-yard line, 45, 1st down Altavista. He sprawls forward to the William Campbell 40-yard line. Quick feet there off the right side. Juan Thornhill taking the things in his own hands for the Altavista Colonels.
Beautiful ball, beautiful job of Juan with the ball handling, trying to convincing William Campbell that he absolutely was going to throw the ball. It was a little bit of a delayed quarterback draw. Nice job by Juan handling, showing some ball handling skills there.
They spotted between the 41 and 42 of William Campbell. It is first down, Altavista. 2 wideouts come to this side of the field for the Colonels. 2 running backs beside Thornhill, and he gives to the tailback up the middle. Not any running room there. He's met right about the line of scrimmage and driven down by about 3 of those white jerseys of the William Campbell Generals. He did get the yardage, 1 yard positive carry. 8:17 left to go. Altavista leading 21-13 in the second quarter of play. Being brought to you by the Apple Markets of the Altavista area. Here come the Colonels getting set. Molbeck goes to the far side in the slot. 2 wideouts to the far side of each of the formations. And here's Thornhill, trapped in the backfield, throws complete.
Complete to Jacob Hawkins.
Jacob Hawkins has the ball inside the 30-yard line, picks up some yards after the catch. Thornhill could have been trapped in the backfield, managed to evade the oncoming rusher, and found a receiver out here in the flat.
Boy, just another show of what an athlete Juan is. Juan spun out of a tackle, and he had another defender. As soon as he came out of that spin, there was another defender right there in his face. Quick release to get the ball downfield. 15-yard gain.
Colonels get a drive going here. It's 1st and 10 at the William Campbell 25. Thornhill with the running back beside him. He'll keep and go up the middle himself. Caught as he gets across the 25, dragging some people with him down to about the 20-yard line. That was just sheer momentum that Juan Thornhill had to carry those people up there with him. They do spot it right at the 20. Near hash mark now. 2nd and 5 for Altavista.
Looks like the Colonels are trying to pick up the pace a little bit in between going to not quite a quick set. Juan had to tie his shoe on that one, so that's what held that play up.
So here's Thornhill again as the shotgun quarterback. 3 wideouts to the far side. Lone receiver on this side. I believe it's Johnson. They give to Thornhill on a keeper around the left side. Big opening as he scoots into the end zone untouched. Juan Thornhill around the left side. Made it look easy. Good blocking on the outside for the Altavista Colonels. And they widen their lead here tonight against the William Campbell Generals.
And again, I can't tell you what a great ball handling skill set that Juan showed. He really sold that play up the middle.
Faked the handoff up the middle, yeah.
And Daquan Myers again sold it with his, he just plowed through the middle. Great job by the Colonels' offensive line.
Here's Walker Allen tempting the extra point. They get it down. He's got plenty of leg, and this one more of a line drive, but it's good through the uprights. Timeout with the score. Altavista 28, William Campbell 13.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
6:39 left in the second quarter of play. Dave Haney with Oscar Briggs as the Colonels add another scoring drive here to start things out and widen their lead, Oscar.
Yeah, that drive was 7 plays, 56 yards, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Again, Juan Thornhill, and Juan Thornhill on that drive.
You know, remembering Mike Sharness's past teams, he really favors a ball control offense, but this Altavista team, to me, has a lot of ability to score quickly.
Well, they do, and I think you can attribute a lot of that to the balance that they have. You know, Juan being a threat. We haven't seen a lot of Timron Brown tonight, who's been very solid in the backfield for the Colonels. So, again, a lot of balance, and they can hurt you a lot of different ways.
Good point. Good point. And they've been doing that all season long. This the sixth game of the season for each of these teams. Colonels will kick off. William Campbell has two men back deep inside the 10-yard line. 6:39 to go, and here's Walker's foot, a line drive. There won't be a big return. The ball is mishandled and fallen on, I think, by William Campbell at about their 33, but the Colonels were coming hard.
Yeah, they were. Demetrius Johnson was there, had an opportunity, but nice job by William Campbell on the short squib kick, covering the ball and making sure that the Colonels didn't have an opportunity.
Generals seemed to be ready on that particular play, although they had a little mishandling there initially, but certainly got to the ball quickly, which is what you've got to do when that takes place. It's 1st and 10, William Campbell, and the ball at the 33-yard line of the Generals, going toward the scoreboard here at English Stadium. Snap back to the quarterback, and the Altavista defense stands him up right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that tackle just straightened the ball carrier. I believe that was Easley again, and he had nowhere to go that time, thanks to the Altavista defense. Well, I should give him a little credit. He did pick up almost a yard on the play.
Yeah, they're going to give him a yard, Dave.
2nd and 9. And a good spot for the Generals. 3 wide outs to this side of the formation. The snap back, thrown out, complete, caught at the 27, up the sideline is number, I believe that's 1. Tavon Easley, little double check as he gets up in front of the Altavista bench.
He's not going to get up quickly. Juan Thornhill absolutely laid the lumber to him. And he is slow getting up, and he's a little shaky.
Yep. You're absolutely right. He's slowly going back to the huddle, and the Generals don't huddle. if he can find his way back.
Yeah, he's coming out.
Yeah.
The athletic trainers are out.
I'm sorry, it's not a joking matter, but he was wandering a little bit.
Yeah,
he knew he had his bell rung, and that happened right in front of the Altavista bench, so Juan probably got a little extra oomph from his teammates along the sideline there.
Gain of 5 on the play.
Yeah, it's just a little swing pass around this side of the formation, and easily turns it into positive yardage. 3rd down and 4 for the Generals. They're at the 39-yard line of William Campbell.
Trailing 13-28 with 5.5 left.
They got one receiver on this side, a man in the slot on the far side. Quarterback back to pass, guns it out there, and intercepted by Altavista at the 50. Jacob East diving in front of the receiver. Nice job of reading the play by East. I thought Jacob East has played some excellent defense all season long.
Yeah, nice read on that. Quarterback Terrell Staten on a little slant play. Maybe led him just a little bit too much. But, again, nice play by East on getting that interception.
And I thought East was focused on that receiver all the way down the field. Makes the defense's job just a little easier. 5:23 to go in the first half of play as Altavista thwarts a William Campbell drive here. Colonels ready to go at their own 49. 1st and 10. And they put 3 receivers in a bunch on this side of the formation and a wide out. Here's Thornhill with the ball, hit in the backfield, breaks free, can't bring him down. That tackler gets a second shot at him after Thornhill sidestepped one man. That was Tavon Easley back in the ball game and making the payback.
Yeah, he made a nice original hit on Juan. Juan was able to get away and got forced by another player back, and as soon as he turned, Tavon stayed with the play, made a nice tackle.
Yeah. Tavon had him a little bit high the first time, and Thornhill strong enough to get away. 2nd down, and 20 for Altavista, back at their own 41. Here's the snap. It's to Thornhill. He'll roll to his right. Throws the wide open receiver. Malbeck at the 47-yard line. Malbeck carries forward and shoved out of bounds on the far side. And, boy, they blew him out of bounds. We'll see where they give him forward progress. It was right at the sticks.
They're going to mark it at about the 43-yard line.
And that'll be a little short.
About a 19-yard gain.
So 3rd down and 1.
And we talked about the chemistry between Juan and Michi as we go forward.
Yep.
Juan released that ball before Michi had even turned, but Michi stayed in his pattern, turned back to look, and the ball was halfway there. Great pattern, great execution for the Colonels. Brings up 3rd and about a yard.
Malbec found a nice big hole in the defense and then added on a few yards with the run. 3rd down and short. Here's Thornhill up the middle. He lowers the shoulder following his middle of the line into William Campbell territory, just a little bit deeper. An easy 1st down for Juan. Well, maybe nothing's easy when you run up the middle, but he picked it up by plenty. Has picked up about 3 yards on the play.
Gain of 3. 1st and 10 for the Colonels. 4:22. Clock winding here in the 2nd quarter. Colonels lead 28-13.
Ball at the 40-yard line of William Campbell as the Colonels try to milk this clock down toward halftime. Probably like to score one more time going into the half if possible. Colonels having a little trouble getting their offense set here. Now 3 wideouts come to this side. Man on the far side, and there's a whistle stopping play. Delay of game against Altavista. So it took some communication, just wasn't right there for Altavista.
Yeah, had trouble getting that formation together from the get-go.
Bring up 1st down and 15 for the Colonels. Back at the 45 of William Campbell. Again, 3 wideouts are set to this side. Thornhill pitches to the running back coming this way. Sidesteps one man at the 50. Gets across the 45. And Daquan Myers, I believe the ball carrier that time, got a couple of yards back maybe. We'll see where they spot. They say the 44s, 45, so no gain.
There's no gain on the play, so 2nd and 15 for Altavista.
William Campbell doing a nice job of penetrating the Altavista offense. Down to 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Colonels won the wideouts to the other side this time. 2 men in the slot over there. Johnson, the wide receiver on this side. Man coming quickly on the backside. I think he beat the whistle. It is offside against William Campbell.
Offside against William Campbell.
I believe the defensive end or linebacker on this side got in there just a little too quickly.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, and I don't know if Juan did something different with his count, but the William Campbell defender was across the line relatively quickly.
Keeps it 2nd down. It's 2nd down and 10 now as the Colonels pick up 5 on the offside penalty. Same formation with Thornhill in the shotgun, calling out the signals. Running back beside him, Thornhill will roll to his right. Sets, throws, wide open. And that's caught. Malbec with the reception and the 1st down inside the 30-yard line.
About 14 yards.
Boy, a nice play by the Colonels. Once again, Malbec was wide open, made a inside move, and then cut to the outside as Thornhill hit him in the numbers.
You know, this is set up in the 1st quarter. The Colonels only threw the ball 1 time. Here in the 2nd, they've thrown it 5 times. So they use that run to set up this passing attack, and it's going well for the Colonels.
The ball at the 26-yard line of William Campbell. 1st and 10 for Altavista. Long count by Thornhill. Fakes to Malbec and comes to the left side. Tries to weave his way through the defense. They have a hard time bringing him down, but his momentum was slowed up enough that the pursuit caught Thornhill at about the 25, 20, maybe 24-yard line.
We're going to call that a gain of 2, and it was interesting as Michi went in motion. Juan got the ball. Michi just pulled up. It was interesting that that whole blocking scheme kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it kind of collapsed there. 2nd down and 7 for Altavista. 2 minutes to go in the 1st half. Colonels leading. They give to the running back up the middle. He's hit, stood up, and driven back. Good defensive play by William Campbell. Jacob Hawkins, the ball carrier. And, boy, he ran into a big stone wall right up the middle. Good defense by William Campbell. Colonels will stop the clock. Timeout with the score, Altavista 28 and William Campbell 13.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Thank you, Nick Bailey. Dave Haney along with Oscar Briggs here, closing in on halftime between the William Campbell Generals and the Altavista Colonels. Kyle Haney will be along in the second half with some play-by-play, and we'll hope he can hold on to the lead.
That's right. We've got Haney squared in the booth now.
That's scary. I think I better retire again. Second and check that, third down as Hawkins lost about a yard. 3rd and 8 for Altavista. Colonel set, 3 receivers on a bunch on this side. Thornhill is rolling this way, looks downfield, tries to get set, runs out of trouble, grabbed from behind but breaks free. He gets the first down as he goes out of bounds. Juan Thornhill turning what was really a not good-looking play into some positive yardage.
He had Demetrius Johnson open. That was his primary receiver. Demetrius got his feet tangled up and fell to the ground. Nice job by Juan freelancing and getting out on the edge on that play.
Yeah, ad-libbing his way through that play, and boy, he escaped from harm 2 or 3 times as the hands were grabbing onto the jersey, but couldn't hold him. Thornhill is a strong runner. He's just a sophomore as the Colonels come out 1st and 10 at the William Campbell 15. Thornhill to the running back. Tries to go up the middle, bounces to this side. Daquan Myers trying to get around the left side, fighting for yardage as he scrambles inside the 10-yard line. Good job of making some positive yards out of it by Myers.
Yeah, Daquan did a good job of trying to get to the edge. I thought if he possibly could have turned it up inside, he might have been able to get 3 or 4 more yards out of it. But again, nice job by Daquan.
We'll give him a gain of 6. It's 2nd down and 4 inside the 10-yard line. From the shotgun, Thornhill calls the signals, gets the snaps. He'll roll to his right, beats one man to the outside, tries to cut back, can't escape the shoestring tackle, falls forward to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good defense, William Campbell. And we're down to less than 54 seconds, and the Altavista Colonels will take a timeout, see if they can't get 1 or 2 plays on the board here and get into the end zone. We'll take a timeout quickly, too, with the score Altavista 28, William Campbell 13.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista offense running into a little bit of tough going here in the late moments of the first half, Oscar Briggs.
Yeah, and under a minute left. This is 3rd down, and we're going to call it 4. You got to wonder, what are the Colonels going to do here? Are they going to try to get the ball in the middle of the field to possibly get 3 points from Walker Allen, or is it 2-down territory?
Yeah, we've got 53.8 seconds left. So, of course, Thornhill can make things happen quickly if necessary, but I'm sure the Colonels want to look at all their options, and you explained them pretty well, Oscar. Here's the snap to Thornhill. Comes to this way, going to throw, wide open receiver, caught. Malbeck at the 2-yard line.
And that'll be a 1st down.
So that stops the clock while they move the chains. 1st and goal. The Colonels have 4 chances to punch it in now as the clock starts up again. And Thornhill on the keeper. He goes off the right side. And Colonels signal touchdown. Now the referees do too. Touchdown, Altavista, stopping the clock with 38 seconds left. So Juan Thornhill taking matters into his own hands, goes off right guard, plows forward and gets in for the touchdown, Altavista. The fire truck blowing its sirens, blazing its lights at the Bedford Avenue side of the stadium. And here's Walker Allen. There's a high snap, and the whistles come out.
Restart and play.
They say offside William Campbell.
Against William Campbell offsides.
So that stops the play for a moment, and the Colonels will reset again to the extra point attempt. Move it a little bit closer for Allen. He's going to leave it at the 10. The tee, kicking tee, that is. It might be too close if you move ahead. Here's a low snap, and Thornhill will keep. He's got running room around the right side. Throws the ball, batted away, incomplete. Thornhill could not get it over the defender's head, looking for a receiver in the end zone. And that stops the clock with a timeout. With 38 seconds left, Altavista 34, William Campbell 13.
Hey football fans, good news from Altavista area Apple Markets. Check out these new in-store specials like Red Bull 8-ounce size 2 for $3.33 or a 4-pack $5.99 and a 24-pack of Coke only $5.99. Grab a box of chicken at Riverside or Main Street Apple Market locations. Chicken filet biscuit a bargain at $1.79. Apple Markets have great tasting chicken tenders too. Apple Market convenience stores at Gateway, Riverside, and Main Street in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
And the second quarter of the play-by-play tonight brought to you by the Apple Markets in the Altavista area. Coming up shortly, the Subway halftime show.
Dave, nice drive. 14 plays, 51 yards. It took up 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Again, that may be one of the, play-wise, maybe one of the longest drives the Colonels have had all year.
Well, I think that's something that Mike Sharness liked to see. 14 plays consistently like that. Maybe 4 minutes doesn't seem like a long drive. It seemed longer than that from up here. But the Colonels will get set to kick off to the William Campbell Generals. And I suspect I don't know. I don't think they'll kick it deep. I think they'll try to make it a short kick and let William Campbell have a play or two up near the 30-yard line. We'll wait and see what Coach Sharness has decided.
That's been his M.O., Dave, as we've gone through the season. We've seen the special team on the kickoff side not have a great deal of success stopping some plays. He'll go to that squib kick pretty quick.
Two men are deep back for the William Campbell Generals. Wait to see what Walker Allen does with it. He comes up to the ball, and it's a low line drive kick, bounding, picked up back at the 30-yard line. The receiver coming hard up the middle, but the Colonels' defense is there to meet him at the 45. It does give William Campbell good field position in their own territory.
Destin Brown down low was able to get him wrapped up, and somebody got him up high and knocked him back for about 3 yards. But forward progress is going to be marked at the 43.
Yeah, a little short of the 45. So good defense by the Altavista special teams. And Generals have 32 seconds to go 57 yards. Three on the far side. Two of those guys are in the slot, wide out along this side from the shotgun. They give to the big running back off the left side. He plows forward across the 45-yard line. I'm sure both teams are pretty much going to be content to go into halftime here. Lockett carried the ball as we're down under a minute. William Campbell takes the timeout, so maybe they're thinking they can get a play or two.
Well, they're right at about 30 seconds left in the half, and William Campbell does get the ball first after deferring the kickoff.
So that stops the clock as the Generals talk things over, and gives the Colonels a little time to regroup here on what is really, I think, a warm and humid night here at English Stadium in Altavista. There is a threat of some rain showers, which we haven't seen any yet. And that threat of rain might have kept a few fans away. Certainly on the William Campbell side, Altavista stands look pretty full here down below the press box. So call it second down and 6 for the Generals at the 43-yard line. I'm sorry, 47-yard line of William Campbell. Here's the throw, complete to the receiver on the far side. He goes out of bounds to stop the clock in Altavista territory at about the 45. I'll wait to see exactly where they mark it. Looks like could be the 44 of Altavista. As he went out along the far sidelines here. Down to 19 seconds. The Colonel's defense going to try to hold him out of the end zone. Altavista plenty of offense here in the first half, leading 34-13, similar to last week's score. First down, William Campbell, high snap, Colonels come hard, Generals block it up and gets around the left side, out of bounds again, stopping the clock outside the Altavista 40-yard line. So it's second down and 42 for William at the 42-yard line of Altavista. 3-yard gain for William Campbell. Here's the ball back to William Campbell, coming this way, around this side, throws and complete. Let's see if he was in bounds when he made that catch. Good coverage by the Altavista Colonels. Looked like number 6 on the reception there for William Campbell. Jamar Wilkes, or was it 5? Marcus Adams.
Marquise Adams came over to the sideline and really just parked right at that 38-yard line. 8 seconds left. Third down, and we'll call it 4.
So maybe one more play after this, but if they stay in bounds, this will be it for the William Campbell Generals. Third down and about 4. Quarterback rolling to his left. Thrown downfield, incomplete. That'll stop the clock and give the William Campbell Generals one more shot at it at the end zone we're talking about here in the second half of play. So good job by the Altavista defense and coverage. Man down on the field on the far side. And we'll wait for them to unpile it. They're looking at one of the William Campbell. Was that the quarterback there that took the big hit? It's hard to tell from up here.
Yeah, it is, Dave. Number 1, it's on the other side of the field. And with these shaded numbers that are on these jerseys, it is difficult to tell.
He gets up with some help from the coaches now, or from the training staff of the Generals, and get some help going off to the far side of the field. They'll set him down on the bench, and hopefully halftime will give him some time to recover.
And it did look like it was number 9, Terrell Staten.
Hard to tell from this vantage point. 3 seconds left in the first half of the game. Altavista leading 34-13. Dave Haney along with Oscar Briggs. Kyle Haney joining us momentarily here at the Subway halftime show coming up here briefly. And the referees giving everybody a minute to collect themselves. And I don't know what it's like down in the field, but the press box is pretty hot and humid, Oscar.
Yeah, it is, and we thought it might cool down some tonight with the threat of some rain, but it sure does feel hot up in the press box. You're right.
So it's fourth down, William Campbell. 3 seconds. Maybe take one shot toward the end zone here.
Yeah, and it, it's not like they don't have a quarterback with experience. Lockett's played a lot for him this year.
And he's back to pass, throwing to the far side. Colonel's over there, knocks the ball away and incomplete as the clock runs out. And that brings an end, and there are penalty flags on the field, but Mike Sharness is declining that, and both teams will go to the locker room here at the halftime. Some holding on the William Campbell offense. It's halftime, and the timeout with the score Altavista 34 and William Campbell 13.
Don't you think it's time that your business account made you money? I'm Marion Marshall with First National Bank, and we've introduced a small business interest checking account that earns your business interest. That's right, interest. So for a progressive small business checking account, come to First National Bank today. We'll show how your business account will earn interest, and we'll provide you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista 34, William Campbell 13 at the half. Dave Haney, Oscar Briggs, and Kyle Haney bringing you the play-by-play coverage tonight of Colonel football. And the Altavista Marching Band going to be performing here at halftime tonight. Just in case you missed it, this game is being brought to you by El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, voted best Mexican restaurant by their customers. And they'll be open all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, starting next week. English is your complete home center and authorized Davis paint dealer. Apple Auto Glass and Mirror on Ford Avenue, Lynchburg, serving the Altavista area. First National Bank focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. The Apple Markets, serving you from 3 Altavista area locations. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family, serving families since 1905. English Construction Company, who wish our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. And Feller Chevrolet, where a short drive saves you money. Well, Oscar, it's a good, high-scoring first half here. The Altavista Colonels offense continues to play well. And William Campbell has kind of fought their way back at times into this game. They haven't given up.
No, they haven't. And just some preliminary early stats, Dave. Again, these are unofficial, but rushing yardage in the first half, Altavista with 212 yards on the ground, 99 through the air for a total of 311 yards, and I believe that's about the whole total they had against Gretna last week. William Campbell starting to move the ball some, 102 yards on the ground, 79 through the air for a total of 181. Staten was 5 for 14, 1 interception, and Juan Thornhill 4 out of 6, and no interceptions and a TD. 1 turnover, of course, for the interception. Penalty yards for William Campbell was 35, and Altavista had 10. We talked about that with William Campbell earlier. They've got to clean that up.
And I believe Altavista scored some points off of that turnover.
Yes, they did score a touchdown off that turnover.
I'm trying to think back at the first quarter. Did you say that William Campbell had something like 3 yards?
They had -3 prior to that 169-yard run.
Okay.
That was the bulk of their rushing for the first quarter.
So the Altavista Colonels with a lead here as we go into halftime. And the halftime show is brought to you by the Subways and the 2 Altavista area locations. They've still got their birthday special going on through the weekend, those $5 foot-long specials. So if you haven't been in there yet this month, I think you better hurry on over to the Subway on Main Street or inside the Walmart in Altavista on Clarion Road and take advantage of the Subway $5 foot-long birthday specials going on this month. Well, we're going to come back with some more halftime. We've got a special guest on his way up here. to talk about some realignment in the Virginia High School League. And if you haven't heard about it yet, it will be news. So we'll come back, and Kyle Haney will take over the rest of the way with halftime here. Altavista leading William Campbell 34-13 on 105.5 KD Radio.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Altavista High School, Colonels lead 34-13. I'm Kyle Haney. I got the call from the bullpen, Oscar. The manager signaled down there. Of course, Dave is a player manager, so he's got the right to take himself out, especially when you got a lead like he does after 5 innings.
Well, yeah, that's right. And you know, the bullpen, you actually didn't come from the bullpen. You came from the 19th hole.
That's true. That's true. Well, for most of those pitchers, that's one and the same. You know, all those pitchers play golf. I think you'd have to stay sane. But I'll tell you, the Colonels, they don't miss a beat, though, do they?
You know, we talked to Coach Sharness, and he was concerned about a letdown as well. Wanted to make sure that didn't happen after the big emotional win against Gretna last week. And every time that William Campbell, both times that they scored, the Colonels responded. So no letdown, certainly on behalf of the Colonels tonight.
No, not at all. And the Generals have showed a lot of fight, as we expected they would. This game's far from over, although they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole. Altavista has helped dig it as well. But, you know, touching on Dave Haney there again, does it get any better than that? I think we need to get some people, you know, whether it's Facebook or our webs or whatever, we need to get a movement going that just has him do the first half of every home game.
I think that's
the way to go.
That's a great idea, and he's certainly easy to work with.
Absolutely.
Knows his stuff, smooth, transition. It's a pleasure. I don't get to work with him very often. It's a pleasure when I get to.
Absolutely. He does a fantastic job, as always, and you weren't half bad either from what I was listening to. And, of course, we all know Nick Bailey's just steady as a rock back at the station. Nick's probably our one Thornhill, isn't he? Thornhill, by the way, has 3 more tonight. If you just joined us, 3 more touchdowns.
That's right. Thornhill. If Nick's our Thornhill, then Eleanor certainly is our Michi.
Oh yeah.
She fills in, does a great job when she's handling the engineering duties for us as well.
Absolutely. And we've gotten off the subject a little bit because our special guest has not arrived. I was not the special guest, in case you were wondering. I'm just a regular guest. But we've still got a good 5-6 minutes left in halftime, though, so we'll give our secret weapon a little bit more time to get up here. Again, I mean, you mentioned it. You've got the letdown aspect, Oscar, of the big win against Gretna last week. One of the biggest wins in the Altavista football program history. I mean, I think for a lot of people it ranks right up there with the state championship. It really does. So there's always the danger of having a letdown in this one. And I think the Colonels have had a few rough patches, but overall, I mean, you put up 34.5. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. And you know, again, you hadn't beaten Gretna in 14 years.
Yeah.
That is huge.
That's why Lysol has started for health.
Again, I think obviously it's not a state championship. They hadn't had a state championship before in their history. So I don't know if you can say it's bigger than the state championship. One game is not bigger than the state championship season, but I do think, now this group of guys, this team's got something they can hang their hat on. They've kind of got an identity as, hey, we did something even that state championship team didn't do.
That's right. The state championship team, of course, that was in 09.
Yeah.
In 2010, we went 2 rounds in the state tournament. 2011, 2 rounds in the state tournament. Coach Sharnis has really turned this program around. I'm going to take this opportunity to call out our special guest. We anticipated.
Since it looks like he's not coming?
Yeah, we just saw him walking down the track. He's headed down now in the corner of the end zone. But Dean Hubbard, of course, was going to come talk to us about the new realignment and give us really, for lack of a better term, a state of the union for the Colonels. We're halfway through the fall sports season. So we'll pin him down at another time.
Yeah, we'll make it happen some other time. Might not be tonight, but you never know. There's always a post-game show, and there's a halftime show every other night. So we'll work on that. We'll step aside for another quick timeout here, as we've talked enough. We need to catch our breath. Colonels lead 34-13 over the Generals here on 105.5 KD Country.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
Hi, I'm Bianca Allison of First National Bank. Did you know there are great home mortgage opportunities available right now? With rates being at an all-time low, FHA and VA financing, our recognized mortgage lenders will deliver the right loan for your needs. Put this together with our other progressive mortgage products, our fast, local service, and we are ready to lend. First National Bank, over 100 years of dependable custom banking. For you and your money, that's important. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Welcome back to Altavista High School. We have corralled our special guest. I apologize for calling him out earlier for not being up in the booth. Dean, we've asked you to come up to talk a little bit about the VHSL realignment.
Well, Oscar, it's something I think we're excited about it. It's new. You've been around a long time, and back in the day, it was I can remember when it was 11-team Seminole District, and you got your district schedule, and there was no non-conference scheduling. But anyway, we have a membership meeting October 16th, and when this thing was originally put in place, it was for postseason play only. So it's going to be something new, but I think once you get into postseason play, it'll be schools that are more evenly matched as far as size goes.
Dean, it looks like the districts are realigned. Is that true?
No. I think what it's going to be, Oscar, is our district will stay intact as it is for scheduling purposes, and then at this point in time, everybody will get into conference play. So, and then you'll have a conference tournament. You'll take 2 teams out of the conference, and those 2 teams will advance to the regionals, and then you'll have your regional tournament and your state quarterfinals, semis, and finals.
And that'll be in football included?
Well, football's really not going to change. Football's on a point rating scale right now. We have a lot of things yet to be determined that we're going to have to figure out, which will be some things that we'll start working on once the middle of October gets here.
And we alluded to that earlier in the broadcast. Right now in Division I, the Colonels look like they're in 8th spot. And to tell you how volatile it is and how close it is, William Campbell right now, if the season ended, they're in the number 16th spot. They've got some games coming up that'll be crucial for them, but again, Colonel's solidly in position to make the playoffs and hopefully have a home seed.
Well, we're off to a great start. Huge win for us last week against the Gretna Hawks, and been since 1998. Didn't seem like it had been that long, but it had. But anyway, we're just football team's doing great. Volleyball team's off to a fabulous start, and cross country and golf. We're just real pleased at how our athletic teams, and we're just off to a really good start with the school year.
Well, again, you read my mind. I was going to ask you for the state of the union of Colonel's athletics, and I think you've pretty well nailed it. Dean, we appreciate you being available to us. Appreciate all the help and things you do to make it easier for us to broadcast from here and support KDE and support our sponsors. Thanks again.
Well, I appreciate Oscar. I appreciate all. You and I have been together a long time, and I appreciate everything that WKDE does in promoting and supporting our athletic program. And I just would tell everybody that there'll be more information on the VHSL.org website about how everything is going to pan out with this classifications. But I think for us, it's going to be a good thing. And like I said, once you get to postseason play, you're really going to be playing schools that are very, very similar in size. So anyway, we're real proud of our athletes and our coaches. They do such a great job. Appreciate all your support.
Again, thanks, Dean. Both teams are back out on the field. We'll take a small break here for some sponsors, and more to come from 105.5 WKD.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
From English Stadium, Altavista High School, Altavista, Virginia. Having a good time up here in the booth, as we always do, Oscar. Colonels are having a good time on the field. They lead 34-13, and still a second half to play. Man, we talk about William Campbell. It's hard to believe they're 0-5. We've said that I dare say there's a better winless team out there in the state. Obviously, I haven't seen it, everybody, but I think I'd take my chances on that roll of the dice.
Well, again, I looked at the Hutchinson's grading system today, and you look at Nelson, you look at Appo, and you look at Chatham, and all those teams are 2-2 or 3-2, and lo and behold, William Campbell's got a higher ranking than they do, and they're 0-5. So
yeah.
They played a little bit tougher schedule.
Right.
Played, Brookville, who manhandled just about as they've manhandled everybody this year.
Yeah.
And they played Rustburg and played them well until late in the ball game. And I really think that game may have been a turning point for them. Thought that they would come back after that and really start to turn things around, but Altavista had them right after that, and just didn't look like they hadn't been able to recover from that.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for Coach Mullins and his guys, and I think again we said it in the first game. If anybody can keep them together, it's that coaching staff, because they did it last year and they made their run last year. So I'm sure there's still a lot of that, going on in their locker room being said. Hey guys, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Let's just get in the playoffs and anything can happen. And there's a lot to be said for that. Colonels, on the other hand, they're 4-1, 1-0 in the district, and have ran out to a pretty sizable lead here. They'll be kicking off to start the second half.
And a lot of, Colonels gained a lot of yards on the ground. We didn't see much Timron Brown. We didn't see much Justin Brown. Destin Brown. I still can't get that out of my head. But haven't seen much of those players, but again, you got Thornhill and Daquan Myers played extremely well. So the Colonels are building depth at that running back position as well.
Yeah, well, they're like we did with the broadcast team. They can go to the bench and go to the bullpen and mix and match, and everything works out fine. Myers is a guy who, you kind of alluded to it, we haven't seen a whole lot of him in the first 4 or 5 games. Seen him some, but tonight he's just busting out and busting loose. Squib kick from Walker Allen's fielded at the 30. William Campbell's going to take it up left hash mark, hit it to 40. Great tackle right there. Low tackle by Juan Thornhill. He's everywhere. And, wow, I see exactly what you and Dave and even Mr. McCracken are talking about with William Campbell's numbers. It's a white jersey. The number is silver or gray at best, probably, and it is hard to see. It's got a little bit of blue trim in there, but there's no way you can see everybody's number every play, that's for sure.
And we talk about Daquan Myers, another one. He's the sophomore.
Yep.
So
we need a name. I don't super sophomores maybe. That just seems kind of generic, but they really have been super this year. That's for sure. William Campbell set to go from their own 40-yard line. Good starting position. Quarterback's going to keep it right side, brought down. Looked like that was Lockett back there at the quarterback. They've kind of been switching him and Staten in and out. Again, it's that bullpen thing again. You can mix and match guys.
Staten played the whole first half.
Yeah.
That was a new start for him. But, again, we saw Lockett in a majority of we saw him up until late in the fourth quarter when we were at William Campbell. And Staten is going to be a good quarterback. Showed a strong arm, showed some good decisions, but just haven't been able to match up with Colonels on the athletic positions.
5 wide receivers now. Lockett's back there by himself, and you can tell Lockett he's the bigger guy. He's going to take it right side. He's got a little bit of room. Now he's getting strung out by the Colonels' defense. Hits one time, then drives his way forward for another 4 or 5. He's close to the first down marker, but he didn't get there. He really got met at the line of scrimmage and just got the other 4 or 5 yards on pure heart and will. He's going to be about 1.5 yards short, maybe 2.
And a little bit different dimension for the Colonels on defense with Lockett playing quarterback because he's a little bit stronger, a little bit taller, and a little bit more of a running threat than Staten was.
Looks like Lockett's going to stay back there in the quarterback spot again. He's got a running back to his left. He's got 3 receivers down here to his left. That's the far side. They're on the far hash mark, right side hash mark. Lockett missed the snap initially. He's going to get hit in the backfield. Bobbling the snap really threw off the timing, and Poindexter hit him hard for Altavista, but he had some company coming behind him as well, Oscar.
There were 4 of the Johnson twins. There were 3 or 4 players there with him that had the opportunity. That little bobble that he had really hurt.
Well, you could tell Lockett was going to run it right up the gut, and I think he got going a little bit too fast, didn't catch the snap first. And that really was enough for Altavista, just that minor slip in timing. Punt formation now for the Generals. Punter's on the 34-yard line. Ball's getting snapped from the 46-yard line. Snap's good. Got time, but now he doesn't. It's blocked. He got hit. They're going to call it a roughing the punter penalty, or at least running into the kicker penalty. We'll see right here. The punter took a good hard shot. He's still down.
Yeah, but from my position, it looked like the ball was tipped, and if that's the case, then it's not roughing.
Yeah, I'm with you. It looked like the ball was tipped. It's hard to say, if maybe, I think it was Thornhill going after the punt. Maybe Thornhill got to him at the right exact same time as he was kicking it, and that's why the ball flight was funny. I really thought he had time, but he held on to the football for a little bit longer than most punters do. Still down on the field. Altavista's huddled up here around the 50-yard line. They're going to have to stay on defense, though, as this penalty is going to go against the Colonels.
Yeah, and that is Lockett that's down. Have to be concerned that would be the second quarterback that they've had go out. Staten, of course, was hurt late in the first half. They did page Dr. Aiken to that side, who's a local orthopedic doctor, so you got to be a little concerned about that.
Yeah, it's hard enough when you're in the hole 34-13, but then when you start losing guys, it becomes even tougher. We'll step aside here for a quick timeout. 9:38 remains in the third quarter. Altavista up 34-13 on 105.5 KD Country.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, It's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead by 21 here on 105.5 KD Country. Last September game for us this year, Oscar. And, you know, September has been really good to the Altavista Colonels. They did drop the one game to James River. But other than that, they have been pretty close to perfect. And even in that James River game, they didn't play bad. Still a man down on the field here for William Campbell, so we're taking a little bit of time. And I think we have agreed that it's Lockett down there on the field. He was the punter. And that's one of those dangerous plays. That's why they call that roughing the punter penalty. So they nitpick that one, because when you're exposed with your leg out like that and one leg coming down on the ground, it's not the situation you want to take a hit in, that's for sure.
No, that call is right. That punter is vulnerable. You're in the air. You are just so vulnerable when you're in that position. It's the right call.
Yeah, and I think the officials have been good all night. They've been good all year. We certainly haven't had to complain like everybody does with the NFL over the replacement officials. Our guys have been steady as always, and
well, I don't know. We beg to differ that this possibly could be a replacement crew with Tootie, Drumheller.
Well, I think they do a good job. It's hard to get out there and do that and put yourself in front of people and try and do the best you can. It's not always easy, and you know, it's like Bob and I always say, when you're up here, you definitely get a different view. It's not like on TV where you have the instant replay. It's not that good of a view for the fans, but you get some different angles that the officials don't get from down there. So, yeah, they're going to miss some things that fans see, but I think all in all they do a pretty good job, and they really make the game about the kids.
No, that's right. And this is a seasoned crew. It's a good crew. We like to have fun with them because we see them week in, week out, different combinations. Of course, Drumheller with his baseball connection.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time.
I overlapped with him at Averitt a little bit, so I'm aware of him from then. So, again, a lot of connections, and officials overall do a very, very good job.
Yeah, they do a great job, and you get a lot of those guys that do, they'll do a bunch of sports. They won't just do one thing. They're pretty well-rounded, and that's I think that's a good thing, and keeps them in the game, keeps them young probably. We're trying to stay young up here. Still a man down on the field. That's why we're babbling on and on. Hopefully you're not getting too bored. And thanks to Dean Hubbard for coming up during the Subway halftime show to discuss that realignment process, which is as confusing as ever. The VHSL is not in the they're not in the business of making things simple, I don't think. I can say that, you know. Am I out of line by saying that, Oscar?
No,
okay.
No, I think it's absolutely correct.
If they're listening, they'll probably find the station somehow or something.
Make no mistakes about it. The VHSL is not a non-profit. If you can get 16, 24 teams into the state playoffs, then good for them.
Yeah, and let me say this in their defense. Not an easy job to make everybody happy, that's for sure. They're trying to appease everybody, big schools, small schools, schools in the east, schools in the west, north, south, so that's not an easy gig for them. I think they probably catch some heat. Some of it justified, some of it isn't.
But, I certainly think that the realignment going to the 6A classification, I think, is the right thing to do. You want to make sure that you got schools that are similar sizes playing, and of course the converse of that is you go back to the old Hoosier mentality.
Right.
That, a single A school could possibly beat a 3A, 4A, 5A school.
Yeah, that's how they did it in Indiana with the basketball there for a long time, into the mid-'90s, I think. They were one of the last states to really be stubborn with that and hold out. And, yeah, it's kind of cool, but definitely when you're one of those smaller schools, it's a Cinderella story when you do go deep. We'll take another time out here and give ourselves a chance to settle down. Colonel still lead 34-13 here on 105.5 KD Country.
Accidents happen. When your windshield is chipped, come to Apple Auto Glass, 2429 Ford Avenue. They'll repair your chip for $39.95. In shop, only $39.95. Apple Auto Glass and Mirrors, 2429 Ford Avenue, Lynchburg. Give them a call at 846-2753, 846-2753. That's 846-2753. Apple Auto Glass, proud sponsor of Altavista Sports. Football is a tradition, and so is Apple Auto Glass. Go Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
50 years of award-winning high school sports coverage here at 105.5. Colonels lead 34-13 from English Stadium. William Campbell's going to get the football back when we're set to go here, and it looks like we're closing in on that. He'll scrimmage from the 39-yard line of Altavista, right hash mark after the roughing the punter penalty. Tacked on 15 yards. And they'll look to cut into this lead here. Oscar, in the first half, they were down, they scored. They were down again, they scored. If they could score again here, I think if you're a William Campbell fan, you feel like, hey, we've got a shot again. At least it makes the game manageable, within reach. You feel like if you got a turnover or something, you could get right back in it. Still plenty of time left. 9:38 here in the third quarter. Brought to you by the Apple Markets of Altavista. 3 great locations, and we are set to go. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side. Can't really tell who the quarterback is yet. They're going to say it's Lockett. He's got an up back to his left. Looks like Easley up about a yard from him to his left, and we're almost set to go. William Campbell was lined up. Lockett was down in a crouch. He looked like he was going to take the snap, but then the officials are just not ready yet. Trying to make sure this injury situation is taken care of. They did bring the ambulance out here, Oscar.
They took him off. Looked like they put one of those inflatable braces on one of his legs.
Yeah.
So thoughts and prayers go out to, again, we weren't unable to identify who it was.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to tell. Again, these William Campbell uniforms, it's one of those deals where they look great pulling them out of the box and handing them out to the players, but for us and the fans, it's virtually impossible to tell who's who.
They look great when you're down on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharp. You just can't read them from...
Right. Anyway, we're getting set. Officials are ready to put it in play now. Here we go. After a long delay, let's play some football again. 1st and 10 for the Generals. Altavista's got to get their defense set again. Thornhill's playing that deep safety, as he has done most of the year, and he's pretty good at it. Lockett to pass. Deep ball. This one looks to be overthrown. It is. It's overthrown everybody. Maulback was in coverage for Altavista, but it was even 6 or 7 yards past him. They were looking for Lee down the right sideline.
Yeah, it just wasn't anything there. Michi was step for step with him and even accelerated past him as the ball went in the air. But as you said, even Michi couldn't haul it in.
Well, good place to miss if you're a quarterback. Didn't give anybody a chance to catch it. Well, I don't think that's what Lockett had in mind when he let it fly. 2nd and 10 on the way here for the Generals. 9:23 remains in the third quarter. Altavista leading by 21. Man in motion. Snaps a little high, but Lockett grabbed it. He gave it to Easley, I believe, and Easley stuffed for no gain. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's a best guess for the Colonel defense. He had a few guys in on the stop. Looked like Destin Brown was one of them that was in the backfield with him. Payne was back there as well.
No gain. That was actually Christopher Guthrie again. That was number 2, and that's his first carry of the night.
Shotgun formation again. 3rd and 10 on the way. Generals are in the middle of the field. Lockett's going to roll out to his right. He's got time. Throw hit the hands of his intended target, but could not get pulled in as it's kicked off, ricocheted off to the sideline there. Looking for Lee again. Lockett had time. Didn't throw a bad ball. It was a little low, and Lee had to stretch for it. 4th and 10 on the way now. Looks like 4-down territory.
Yeah, they're at the 39, and good point from our spotter, Jimmy Mundy, that the punters, they don't have a punter now.
Yeah, that makes the decision a little bit easier. And it's getting to be that make or break point in the game here when you're down 21. High snap, Lockett barely got it. He's going to throw deep again. Got a man on the sideline. It's caught. 1st down and more. He got Slayton on the left sideline there on the fade route. Slayton caught it about a step away from the out-of-bounds marker. Then he gained another yard before he did finally get carried out by his momentum.
Nice pump fake. Jacob East started to come but tried to recover, and he fell down, but was still able to get back up and make the tackle on the play. So good play by him, but nice gain from William Campbell.
Yeah, and the high snap may have actually helped the Generals there, because I think as a cornerback, you see that and you tend to freeze a little bit. Meanwhile, the receiver doesn't see that. He's just running his route like always, and you end up a step behind. Trips formation this time. Lockett's got 3 receivers to his right. He's going to take off on a run up the middle. Got about a yard before he's met by a big pile of Colonel defenders and some of his own linemen in there as well. And his momentum stopped after a 2-yard gain.
And again, Lockett adds that little bit of extra running strength on the inside that Staten just doesn't have.
Yeah, Lockett's 195. You add those pounds. He had the pads. He's definitely over 200 pounds, so he's a good-sized runner for a high school running back anyway. Shotgun formation again. He's going to swing it out here to his right. Altavista was all over that. Number 21, Timron Brown, in there to break up the pass. Even if the receiver did catch it, Brown was going to meet him for no gain anyway, probably a loss.
It was going to be a loss of about 5. Trying to hit that running back coming out of the backfield, and
yeah,
he was better off not catching it.
It's that quick little swing screen that all these shotgun teams do, Oscar. We see Altavista do it a whole lot, and it works well. But when that linebacker, that cornerback jumps the route, you can tend to run into trouble. Shotgun snap's a good one. Thrown to the slant route, and it's tipped around, almost caught on the ricochet by another William Campbell receiver. Not the intended target, but it falls incomplete.
Cody Andrews was able to get his hand on that ball and disrupt it a little bit. It'll bring up 4th and 10 or 4th and 7 from the 13-yard line, 14-yard line.
Yeah, 4th and 7 on the way. Generals picked up the last one 3 plays ago. Andrews is 6'1", so his wingspan was pretty handy in knocking that ball down there. Andrews is on the right side now. He looks like he's coming on a blitz. Lockett throws deep to the end zone's got Lee there, and it's caught. Touchdown. No signal yet. There's the signal. I thought he caught it. Referee just had to confirm it. Lee's in the house for a touchdown. And the Generals are fighting back, Oscar. 34-19. They trail, extra point on the way.
Of course, the big difference on that drive was the roughing the punter penalty on 4th down.
Yeah. Generals don't apologize for the good break. They just take advantage of it. Pick up a couple 4th downs there on that drive, so that's pretty impressive if you're a William Campbell fan. Lockett on to try the extra point. He's got the booming leg. Straight ahead style kicker, but he gets the job done. Snaps good, gets on the tee. This one's not going to get the job done. It didn't get over the line. Into the back of one of his linemen there, so it's no good on the extra point attempt. Altavista still leads, but the Generals have cut into it. 34-19, Colonels ahead on 105.5 Katy Country.
Hey football fans, good news from Altavista area Apple Markets. Check out these new in-store specials like Red Bull 8-ounce size 2 for $3.33 or a 4-pack $5.99. And a 24-pack of Coke only $5.99. Grab a box of chicken at Riverside or Main Street Apple Market locations. Chicken filet biscuit, a bargain at $1.79. Apple Markets have great tasting chicken tenders too. Apple Market convenience stores at Gateway, Riverside, and Main Street in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 Katy Country.
Back here from English Stadium in Altavista. 7:51 remains here in the 3rd quarter, brought to you by Apple Market. 34-19, Altavista on top. You just can't count the Generals out yet, though.
No, you can, and that was the first possession of the second half. William Campbell had deferred, took possession, took the ball at the 40-yard line, 12 plays, 60 yards, took up 5 minutes and 1 second on the drive. So, consumed a lot of time, kept the ball out of the Colonel's hands, and closed the gap to 34-19.
Yeah, nice sustained drive, and we mentioned it. They pick up a 4th down because of the roughing the punter penalty. They pick up another one on the pass, and then they pick up another one there to score. So that's pretty big. Kick for Altavista, fielded by Malbeck on the goal line. He's out to the 19-20, lost his footing on about the 18-yard line. Slips. Nobody really going to get the credit there on the tackle for William Campbell, but Altavista will take over on the 23-yard line here. going left to right towards the scoreboard. Actually, they're going to spot it all the way to the 25-yard line. Extension of last week, I guess, Oscar.
No, they actually moved it back to the 20.
Well, Altavista's going to start somewhere. They're going to start on the 20. I guess Malbec could have let the kick go, and it would have been a touchback. But anytime Michi can get his hands on the ball, you want that if you're an Altavista fan. Thornhill's going to fake to the running back, take off right sideline. He's got some room now. Shook off one tackler, sidestepped another. Gets a big gain. We'll call it 16 yards. I'm going to say he stayed in bounds, or he went out on his own power anyway. Clock keeps moving. 34-19. Clock will stop temporarily for the chains. Now it's running again. Big pickup there for the Colonels on first down. Thornhill's got a running back to his left and 3 receivers to that side as well. That's the wide side of the field. He's going to go that way on the rollout. Squares his shoulders, throws over the middle. He's got Malbec, but it's dropped. Malbec was about 20 yards deep in a hurry, but he couldn't haul the pass in.
And it looked like he had some territory to run.
Yes.
The ball was not dead on the money, but it was certainly catchable, and Michi had to turn around a little bit to get the ball. Looks like he was looking downfield.
Yeah, it turned him around a little bit. Rashawn Lee was in coverage, but he was behind. Like you said, Malbec had some room to run if he did pull it in. Thornhill's going to go up the middle. Little hesitation. Got a lot of room. He's got the first down and more. 45, tripped up. He's going to get it all the way to the 36 or 37-yard line into William Campbell territory. Lee with the tackle.
Nice block in the backfield by Dustin Brown to keep the defender from wrapping one up, and made the Generals pay for that.
It's amazing how many guys Altavista can run in that running back spot that can block and carry the ball. You got Hawkins, Brown, and Daquan Myers can all do it. They're going to hand off to Dustin Brown. He's got some room inside. Gains about 5 yards. Now he's strung out, hit, going backwards. William Campbell throws him to the ground emphatically, but not after a 5-yard gain there from Dustin Brown.
Dustin didn't get a lot of time in the first half. His legs are very, very fresh. He looks strong running the ball here early.
Yeah, Destin's always been a hard runner, so you give him a little break. It's going to make it even tougher on the defense. And I'm still thinking about that great play last week where he hurdled the defender for the touchdown. Brown's a lead blocker for Thornhill this time, though. Thornhill's goes behind right guard there, and he gains 3. I don't think he got to the first down, though. We'll wait and see the spot. Always hesitate to say that because of those spots, but he is going to be short by about a yard.
And Colonels are going no huddle here.
Yeah, they're going to go quick. Thornhill's going to get under center. Maybe the sneak coming. Looked like he dropped the football momentarily. He got it back. I don't think he got the first down.
No, that was ugly. That exchange was just awful. It looked like they again, a quick set, no huddle.
Well, the Colonels wanted to go fast there. We mentioned how quick they were getting up to the line. Sometimes you can go too fast. I think they went just too fast for themselves there. Didn't get a clean exchange from center to quarterback. Colonels are going to go for it here on fourth down. Andrews comes in. He's going to line up in a wing just off left tackle.
Watch for the hard count here.
Yeah, and there is 4 receivers. Altavista, I think they got off quick. Thornhill was about to hand off. I think Malbec might have moved too early. Somebody did for Altavista, and this will back them up 5. It'll set up a 4th and 6.
5 yards. Okay, 4th and 6.
Colonels lead 34-19 if you just joined us. Thornhill had 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half, so he just continues to rack up gaudy numbers
and
offensively.
Touchdowns as
well. It's looking more and more like Juan Thornhill is going to be a legit Player of the Year candidate in the district, if not elsewhere. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Thornhill's getting his guys set up. He's going to move Malbec to the left side. That's where his running back is. Shotgun snap. Thornhill's going to roll left. Looks to pass. Got to get rid of it. Had some pressure. Ball's up in the air, and it may be picked off by William Campbell. It is. Interception by the Generals. Lee gets it on about the 7-yard line. If you want to put a positive spin on it for the Colonels, it's about like a punt. But excellent play there from Rashawn Lee to get the interception for William Campbell.
Well, Rashawn Lee, we've called his name numerous times tonight. He's very athletic, been able to go up and get several jump ball type situation balls. And turnover, like you said, as good as a punt, puts it at the 7-yard line.
Well, you know, it's not going to look good on Juan Thornhill's stat line, but it really actually is a pretty smart play. You definitely don't want to take the sack right there on fourth down. So maybe you throw it up into a spot there where it's a 50-50 ball. Just try and give your receiver a chance. If they do pick it, then you have what happened here. William Campbell, fresh set of downs from their own 7. Shotgun formation again. Lockett's going to go right tackle. He's got a little bit of a gain, maybe 3 or 4 before he's knocked down by the linebacking core from the Colonels. Destin Brown gets up off the pile.
And clock is under 5 minutes now, 34-19. Colonel's in command right now.
Colonel's in command, but a William Campbell drive and score could really change that. Generals getting the play from the sideline. They all wear the wristbands. Lockett actually gained more, but like 5. Second and a long 5 on the way. Lockett's got a tight end to this left side now. Pulling Lyman. Lockett's going to throw deep. He's got Slayton over there, and is it caught? I believe it is. You do have a catch. What a great play by Slayton. Fade route to that sideline again.
Yeah, it really was. Jacob East got turned around a little bit, made a good recovery, was able to close, threw his arm up at the last second. I thought he was going to be able to deflect the ball, but great concentration from Malik Slayton and pulling that in, giving William Campbell the first down.
Yeah, between Slayton and Lee, any of the quarterbacks for William Campbell have got some really good targets to throw to. And Lockett certainly got the arm to make the throws. We saw the young guy, Tyrell Staten. He was able to make a lot of the throws, too. So William Campbell can definitely wing that football around. Lockett's going to hand it off this time, though. Not much of a gain there for the running back. He's hit right around the line of scrimmage. It was easily this time. They're going to say he gained about half a yard. Maybe a full yard now. They move that stick around. 2nd and 9 on the way.
Clock continues to run. 3:40 here left in the third quarter.
Yeah, Colonel's up 34-19. Generals have done the only scoring here in the third quarter. Got a touchdown from Damian Lockett to Rashawn Lee, a passing touchdown. They did not convert the extra point. 2nd and 9 on the way. 4 wide receivers and a running back for Lockett. Lockett throws quick on the little spot route. Can't be caught by the receiver. That was Lee. Sets up 3rd down, Oscar.
And 3rd and we're going to call it 9. You got to wonder if trailing 34-19 with no punter, do you try to pick up 5 or 6 and get it to a short down 4th down situation?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those intriguing questions that coaches go through. I think it's one of the questions that adds gray hairs to you. What's your play call here, knowing that your starting punter is not available anymore? Shotgun snap's a good one. Lockett's going to throw. Fade ball to the right sideline. He's looking for Lee. It's no good. Great coverage there from Dimitri Malback. And that'll bring up 4th and 9. I think 4th and 9, maybe you think you have to punt now if you're William Campbell, but we'll see. Looks like they're exchanging some personnel, and maybe they are bringing on a punt team. I mean, obviously you have a guy who's taken some reps as a backup punter and kicked the ball, but you can't ever feel as good as you would when your starter's back there.
And again, real nice play by Michie. He got position, was able to get in front of the wide receiver on that play and keep him from getting free down the sideline.
Going to say it's number 5, Marquise Adams, back to punt. Same punt formation for the Generals. Snap's a good one. Adams gets it away. It's not a terrible kick. Lands on the 40. It's going to roll to the 50 and may even get to the 40. It's going to get stopped on the 46-yard line of Altavista. So not a bad kick at all for William Campbell, and that's where the Colonels will take over. With 3:03 to play here in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you by Apple Markets, 3 great locations in Altavista.
29-yard punt for William Campbell, but still, you trying to get some field position, and I think it ended up being the right play for him.
Yeah, and I think, Coach Mullins has got to be somewhat pleased because he got Altavista on their own side of the field. Shotgun snap, handoff goes to a running back for Altavista. It's Daquan Myers. He bounces off 3 or 4 tacklers down to the 30. Big gain right there from Myers. 22-yard gain there, rushing for Myers, and Myers was the tailback in that play. And he's excited about it.
Yeah, and he should be. And you look at Daquan, nice run. He bounced a couple of players off of him. And downfield, Jacob East did a great job of blocking and getting him really an extra 7 or 8 yards.
All year, East and the rest of the Altavista Colonel receivers have really done a nice job blocking. East is out there again on the near sideline. He's got press coverage from a William Campbell cornerback. Thornhill's got 2 running backs with him. He's going to take off to his left, run all the way. Turns the corner, now turns it up. Gets 5 or 6, and he's still going. He shook off some tacklers. Now the momentum's done. And, wow, it looked like a 4-yard gain. I think he's going to get about 8 after they spot this football. We'll see.
He can't. You're right. He went into a pile. Looked like he was held up, and all of a sudden he spins out, and there's another 3 or 4 yards onto the play.
He just never stops running. He is such a hard runner, and he's one of those guys, he runs big. You know, he runs like a guy who weighs 20 or 30 pounds more. The way he just bounces off of tacklers. 2nd and 3 now. Thornhill's got some running backs, 1 behind him and 1 beside him. Handoff goes to Myers. Myers gets to the first down, or he fell across the first down anyway. See where they spot it. First down marker was at the 20. Looks like he's got a spot over here right past the 20-yard line. They are going to move the chain, so fresh set of downs for the Colonels.
Nice effort by Daquan.
1:35 remains in the third quarter. Altavista up 34-19. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Looks like a similar formation here. He's got Hawkins up behind right guard, probably a blocking back, and 3 receivers, 1 running back beside him. He fakes it to Myers. Great ball fake, turns the corner. He's got 10. He's down to the 5-yard line. Touchdown. Pay dirt for Juan Thornhill. 4th one of the night. It comes with 1:11 remaining in the third quarter, and that makes it a 40-19 Altavista lead now with the extra point to follow.
He had 1-on-1. He got downfield about 10 yards, and the corner was between him and the goal line, and he made a little shifty move, and the corner just froze him. Nice run by Juan.
Man, outstanding stuff from Juan Thornhill. The play fake sold me. I mean, he stuffed it in the belly of Daquan Myers and just rode that fake through, and then took off to the left side. Kick's got plenty of distance for Allen, and it's good. That makes the score 41-19. Timeout here with 1:11 to play in the third quarter. Altavista on top on 105.5 KD Country.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
50 years of award-winning high school sports coverage on 105.5. Colonels get a score there from guess who? Juan Thornhill. Puts them up 41-19. It's Thornhill's 4th rushing. He's got another one throwing the football. Oscar, he just continues to impress.
Yeah, he does. And, again, the offensive line does a great job of being able to free Juan up, get him some holes, and give him the ability to pick which hole and make some players miss downfield.
Yeah, I think Juan would be the first guy to credit that offensive line. I mean, they really just move guys around for him. And you know, McLeese at the center, I mean, I don't want to jinx anybody, but haven't seen a bad snap all year. And that shotgun snap is not something you can take for granted, because it's not so easy to put that thing right at the quarterback's chest every time and then still make a block. And McLeese does that with great proficiency.
A 54-yard drive. It took them 4 plays, 2 minutes and 2 seconds, Kyle.
Squib kick again from Walker Allen. Going to get fielded on the 27-yard line. Here comes William Campbell. They got a little bit of room up the gut. Altavista's going to have to make a tackle here. Walker Allen's going to run him down, and he does. Didn't really run him down, but he dragged him down. Big play right there from Walker Allen. Great return for William Campbell. They'll have great starting field position here.
Yeah, Walker Allen, actually, you know, earlier in the year he had that situation, and he did the typical kicker flag. He actually was able to stand his ground and make a nice tackle on that play.
Yeah, good play there from Allen to get in there and mix it up. And, you know, Allen's a freshman. He's listed as a wide receiver and a DB on the roster. So I think he's not just a kicker. I think he fancies himself as a real football player. But he is young, just a freshman. So.
Yeah, and we've seen him on the basketball court.
There you go.
So, you know, he's pretty athletic.
Absolutely. Generals do have great starting field position. They'll double stack the receivers. There's 4 of them. Handoff goes to Slayton, and Slayton's got some room. Thornhill had to make the tackle down low. I believe it was Slayton on the carry. It's a 20-yard pickup. Whoever it was. I think it was Slayton. That gets the ball down to about the 23-yard line. It's actually more like a 15-yard pickup.
Difficult to tell if it was Slayton or Easley, but I believe you're right. I believe it was Slayton.
I mean, really, the only chance you have is to see the number before the play. And that's not always easy. It looks like Slayton is back there with Lockett in the backfield. William Campbell's got 3 receivers to the right. They're in the middle of the field. Lockett's going to try right side. He's going to shake off one defender. That's Demetrius Johnson, but he's not going to shake him off. He tried to stiff arm. Johnson wouldn't let go. Johnson had support behind him as well. Lockett's going to end up losing about 7.
Yeah, good call. They are going to call it a loss of 7. And haven't called the Johnson boys' names out too much tonight. William Campbell's done a good job of keeping them from disrupting their offense.
Anytime you can keep the Johnson and Johnson brothers out of your backfield, you're doing a good job. Third quarter is going to wrap up here. We'll take a timeout. Altavista's on top 41-19 on 105.5 WKDE.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista 41, William Campbell 19. Fourth quarter getting ready to start. Generals have got some field position here. They just took a hit on the last play. Damian Lockett got sacked in the backfield. Well, really a loss of yards on a rushing attempt. It wasn't a passing attempt. But it'll bring up 2nd and 16 from the 30-yard line.
And Kyle, a little bit different story. The Colonels dropped down, had 107 yards, all on the ground, none passing, to 1 interception from Thornhill, which really wasn't a huge deal. More like you said, more like a punt. William Campbell, 26 yards on the ground, 46 through the air for 72 total yards. 20 yards worth of penalties for the Colonels, and of course the big one was the 15-yard rush in roughing the punter.
Yeah, that kept that general drive going, and William Campbell did end up scoring on that drive. Lockett to pass. He's got to hurry. He had pressure. It is complete. Caught on the 15-yard line. Receiver's going to drive it up to about the 8-yard line. It's a first down and a little bit more. We'll wait and see who gets up, see if we can identify it. I'm thinking it might be Tevin Easley. Hard to tell, though. He didn't come back to the middle of the field like I hoped he would. Great pass, though, from Lockett, and Lockett got rid of it in just a nick of time because Demetrius Johnson was coming. First and goal now, left hash mark for William Campbell. Again, it seems like every time Altavista scores, William Campbell scores. They just haven't scored as often. Altavista leads 41-19. Lockett looks like he's going to go under center. I formation, 1 tight end, 2 receivers for the Generals. A fullback and a tailback. Lockett turns around, hands it off. Running back's got a yard or two, shakes the tackle, got spun around, down to about the 2-yard line. Got it close to that end zone. Good run right there. We've seen Altavista make some goal line stops. But generally, when a team gets in this close, Oscar, it's just a matter of time. They're going to spot this on the 3-yard line.
You know, William Campbell got off to a slow start, 2 3-and-outs, and then they dug themselves a little bit of a hole. But, you know, since that, they've battled the Colonels pretty evenly.
Absolutely, and they've shown they can score and move the ball on anybody. I formation again. Lee's down here on the left side. Maybe fade ball to him. They hand it off. Running back gets in. Touchdown, William Campbell. I think it's Slayton on the carry. Either way, it's 6 points for the Colonels. Makes it 41-25. I'm guessing they try for 2 here, Oscar, but we'll see. Good running right there from William Campbell and a nice drive off the big return. Looks like they're going for 2. Yeah, Coach is yelling out, I think where they want them to spot the football.
Yeah, at some point they do have to go for 2. Right now they're they trail by 16.
Yeah. Scoring runs, a 3-yarder. It comes with 10:42 in the game. 41-25. William Campbell's going to try for 2, and they do spot it on this left hash mark, which you have the ability to do. You can move it around on the 2-point conversion. You don't have to always go from the middle. Toss play goes to the right side. That's the wide side. Slayton's in for two, and that makes it a 41-27 game. 8 points there for William Campbell. Slayton gets in for the TD and the 2-point conversion, and we'll take a timeout here. Altavista still leads 41-27, 10:42 remaining in the football game on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
William Campbell scores first here in the fourth quarter. They trail 41-27. Go for the 2-point conversion and get it. Generals scored first in the third quarter. They trailed at halftime. Then Altavista answered late in the third quarter. And then the Slayton 3-yard touchdown run here with the 2-pointer to boot.
Yeah, they answered that drive, the score from Altavista, relatively quickly. You said 10:42. Colonels lead by 14.
Yeah, and interesting, we'll see what William Campbell elects to do here on the kick. I don't think you could call an onside kick bad strategy, even though there's still 10:42 to go. But when you're down multiple scores, it's probably never too early to try and get that extra possession. But we'll see. Malback is back deep for the Colonels, and Timron Brown is back there as well. And Altavista does have a couple guys grouped up close to that 50-yard line, which is the 10-yard window there. See what Lockett does on the kick. Official giving some time here. Now we're set to go. There's the whistle to open things up. And Lockett does kick it deep. It's going to go left, lands on about the numbers, and might go out of bounds. And it did go out of bounds. I wonder if it went out of bounds after Timron Brown touched it. The flag came out, so maybe he did not touch it. If he'd have touched that ball, Oscar, it's going to be spotted wherever he knocked it out of bounds, but if he didn't.
That was a 15-yard line, so
yeah,
good break by there for the Colonels.
Absolutely. Well, it looked like, the kick initially, like I said, landed on the far side numbers there. It bounced towards the sideline, but it didn't immediately go out of bounds, so I think Timron Brown said, maybe I've got to go fetch this thing before William Campbell does, and then it just trickled out of bounds.
And Coach Mullen is lobbying that the ball was touched, but he's going to lose that, I think.
Yeah, official's going to walk up here and spot this at the 35-yard line after the illegal procedure penalty on the kickoff. It'll start on that far hash mark. That's the William Campbell sideline. Not a ton of fans over there on their side, but there's a lot of Colonel fans here. As, the rain's held off, so it ended up being a pretty nice night for football. A little humid and muggy, though, but not terrible. Thornhill's got a man beside him and a man behind him. He'll turn and hand to that deep running back. That's Destin Brown. Brown goes right guard, gets a 3-yard gain before he's met by a host of general defenders. This may end up being more like a 4 or 5 yard gain, Oscar.
Yeah, they're going to call it a gain of 5. He continued to push the pile a little bit before they blew the whistle.
Malback looking to the sideline, as of all the Colonel offensive players there, trying to get the play in here.
Hadn't been a big night for Michi, but it certainly has for Juan.
Yeah, I think Michi snuck up on some people early in the year. Now the book is definitely out. They've seen him on tape. Not to say that he's not still going to have some big plays. He is. Thornhill's going to hand it off again. Brown's met in the backfield. I mean, he's going nowhere. William Campbell almost took the handoff from Thornhill, and Altavista's probably fortunate that they are going to retain the football here because the Generals were in the backfield quick.
They had Cody Andrews in as a fullback, and he was trying to block, and he got absolutely leveled.
Well, can't really fault Cody too much because there were a bunch of Generals in that backfield. A couple of them timed that snap count up. Cody can only block one guy.
Colonels need to be careful. 9:25 left. William Campbell way in this ball game.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen that the Generals can score. The last thing you want to do for Altavista is turn the football over. Thornhill's got a man right behind him. He'll fake it to him. Now he spins out to his left, looking to pass. He's got to get out of there in a hurry. He's going to get sacked. Brought down at the 22-yard line, so this is a big loss. William Campbell's fired up again. They had a lot of guys in the backfield, Oscar.
Yeah, and nice coverage downfield from William Campbell. Not only did they get a heavy rush on him, but there was nobody open for Juan to throw to.
Yeah, Juan had to try and hold on to the football a little bit longer because you're right, nobody was open for the Colonels, at least not initially anyway, and then the rush was there. Andrews is back deep to punt. And he's standing on about his own 10-yard line, so you got to be careful here if you're the Colonels.
4th and 20, and William Campbell's going to get good field position out of this.
Absolutely. William Campbell's shuffling some players in and out. Officials taking some time again. I don't know if they're taking time to let William Campbell sub, or maybe it was an injury, or a equipment malfunction. Then you do have to give him time. And now the official is going to stop play, and it's because of a timeout from the Altavista Colonels. We'll take one as well. Altavista leads 41-27. Latter stages of the fourth quarter here on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
41-27, Altavista leads, but they're faced with a 4th and long, 4th and 20, Oscar. And Cody Andrews is standing on his own 10-yard line. You never want to be punting around your own end zone. And like you said, William Campbell, if all goes well, they're going to have really good field position after this kick. Looks like they're coming after it, though. They may not even have to field the kick if they get in the backfield again. Here's a long snap. It's a little low, mishandled, but you do have a flag that comes out. Procedure penalty on the Colonels, so this is going to back them up another 5. I don't know if that really bothers you too much. You're not going for it, 4th and 25. Not when you're up 14 anyway, which is what the Colonels are.
No, just, when it comes to flipping the field or...
Yeah. Well, it certainly can't make a punter any more comfortable to be 5 yards closer to his own end zone, that's for sure. First snap was a little low. Let's see where this one goes. This one's a lot better. Andrews fields it clean and gets off a good kick. William Campbell's not even going to get a chance to return this great kick, and Andrews kicked it towards the right side. Very directional type of kick, and it's down on the 39-yard line. Great break there for the Colonels.
41-yard punt for the Colonels, and somebody from the left side of that William Campbell line got through and had an opportunity to block it, but Daquan Myers absolutely stood him up and stopped that from happening. Great play by Daquan to allow Cody to be able to get that punt off.
And McLeese down there to down it again as the long snapper, first guy down. In high school you can't hit the long snapper when he's got his head down, but when he takes off to go cover that kick, you can block him. But McLeese just has the ability to get around those blocks. I mean, you're talking about a lineman there, but nobody can ever seem to block him because he's always the first one on the scene to down those punts.
8:04, 41-27, Colonels lead. Big drive here for William Campbell.
Absolutely. Generals are going to go from the I formation with the tight end and 2 receivers. They're down 14. Toss play goes to Slayton. Slayton's got some room left side. Now he's stood up at the 40-yard line. Probably gained a yard or 2. 7:52 remains. Generals are down 14. Wow, going to give him a good spot here. Said he gained about 3. He had a hole. He had some room. It closed up quick. Colonels were there. Brendan Patrick, I think, was the first guy there, but Slayton got stood up. There was a bunch of guys in on the tackle. Looks like William Campbell likes this I formation. I think it's Lockett back deep in the tailback now. They fake it to him. Roll out here. Throw. They got a completion. Close to a first down, and he did get it. First down was a 49-yard line, but this ball is going to get spotted on the other 49-yard line, so he got it by 2 yards. It was Quante Adams on the catch. Good route by him.
Yeah, it was a good route. Nicely designed play. They had the wide out come and take a break out towards the sideline, and that really cleared out that room for that route to be run. Good job by William Campbell. 7:07 remaining in the ballgame.
Yeah, Generals have been down all game, but they've been confident. They've kept it going, and they've scored. Patrick Lockett under center now. Damian Lockett is the tailback. Damian Lockett plays a lot of the quarterback in the shotgun, but it's Patrick under center now. He hands it to Damian Lockett. Lockett shakes the first tackler. He's not going to be able to shake the second and the third. And the ball came out there at the end. William Campbell's nonchalant. They're saying he was down. Altavista was going after that loose football. I think he was down on the play. It's going to be no gain.
So that brings up 2nd and 10.
William Campbell has time here. 6 minutes, 28 seconds remain, but they're down 2. They can't afford a lot of plays for no gain like that. If you're picking up yards every time, Oscar, 14's not a lot. 2 touchdowns can happen quick, but when you're losing yards or not getting yards, it tends to take a lot longer.
In the last couple drives they've had, they've been able to move the ball through the air as well.
Yeah, shotgun formation. That's Patrick Lockett. He's going to throw deep. East was there. Ball got batted around. Great coverage from Jacob East. Pass is incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Jacob East had him under, and then the pass was a little bit over. Juan was closing from the outside. If it had been much higher, Juan would have had an opportunity for that as well. So nice coverage by Altavista's secondary on that play.
Yeah, my comment last week about the other third of the earth being covered by Thornhill and Malback, that goes for defense as well. Thornhill just loves to play that deep safety like a center fielder. And he definitely roves around, foul line to foul line. 3rd and 10 on the way. Patrick Lockett's the quarterback for William Campbell. He throws, skips through the arms of his intended target. Looked like the throw was there. Couldn't be hauled in for William Campbell. That'll bring up 4th and 10.
And Darius Johnson was closing in on him quickly on that play.
6 minutes remain in the football game. William Campbell is down 14. I think they're going to go for it. You could probably justify punting, but it's definitely getting late in the game. You could justify going for it as well, and I think that's what the Generals are going to do. Looks like Patrick Lockett again in the quarterback. William Campbell uses so many guys at every spot. Lockett's going to roll out to his right. Play is blown dead. Yeah, it's rare you see a team use 3 quarterbacks like this, Oscar, and not really miss a beat on offense. I mean, they've had their hiccups, but they've definitely moved the football. Generals are going to take a timeout, though. We'll take it with them. 6 minute remains in the ball game here. Altavista leads 41-27 on 105.5 KD Country.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
6 minutes of football remains here from English Stadium. 6 minutes of regulation football anyway. Altavista up 14. William Campbell's got the football. They've got 4th and 10 from the left hash mark, 49-yard line of the Colonels. Probably a must-get situation here for the Generals. Thornhill's a deep safety, about 16 yards deep. Patrick Lockett takes the shotgun snap. He's got to unload quick. Receiver fell down, waiting for some flags. They're not going to come out. It's a stop for the Altavista defense. Nice defensive stand there for the Colonels.
No, it looked like the William Campbell player tripped going downfield. No contact from Altavista. Turnover on downs. 5:55.
Yeah, and I think it was the right call. It's just always one of those plays when you see the receiver go down like that. You know, I think as an official, you got to wonder, was he helped down? But I think it was the right call. I think he slipped on his own.
And it was absolutely a good route, because if he wouldn't have tripped, the play was there and they would have had the first down.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, he was open. The pass looked to be pretty good. Good tight spiral. And the receiver just tripped. Couldn't keep his feet. Let's see if Altavista can run out the clock here with a 2-touchdown lead. Thornhill's going to try left side. He's got some blockers. He's got some room now on the left hash mark. Got about a yard or two. Then he was hit. See if they give him 2 or 3. Play kind of took a long time to develop as Juan strung it out. Juan likes to take it to the sideline, and then at any moment he'll dart up one of those alleys right there. They're going to give him about 3.5 or 4 yards, Oscar.
Yeah, they're going to give him a gain of 3, and nice run by Juan. Had the opportunity to break out to the side, but I think he turned it back in. It looked like he's very aware of the clock situation right now.
Yeah, Juan is really mature beyond his years. He's just a sophomore, as are, again, most of these Altavista Colonels. A lot of them are sophomores, at least the skill guys anyway. Thornhill's got a blocking back and then a tailback behind him. That's Brown. He'll give it to him. Brown's got the first down and more. He's at the 40. Now he's to the 30, 20, 15. He's got eyes for the end zone. He's going to try the left sideline now. Dragged down at about the 2-yard line. Destin Brown was trying to run away from a William Campbell defender, and he was going north to south. Then he went east to west, Oscar, to try that route. And he got close but could not get it to the house.
The only thing, you start looking for faults. It's hard to find. But the only thing I can see wrong that Dustin did on that ball is he didn't put that ball back in his left hand. If he'd have done that,
right,
he'd be able to do a stiff arm and keep the player at bay till he could get to the end zone.
Well, good defense by the Generals to run him down. But like I said, Brown really had a nose for that end zone. Big gain right there. First and goal from the 2-yard line for Altavista. They were looking at trying to run the clock out. Now they're looking at trying to add to the score. Thornhill gives to Brown. Brown right up the gut. Don't think he got in the end zone. It was close. Good defense from the Generals to make a stand right there. I think he may have moved it up to the 1, though.
And you got to believe that if Juan has his say in it, he's going to get the ball back to Dustin again. After that long play, you want Dustin to be able to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Brown gets you down here. A lot of times it's nice to reward the guy, get him in the end zone. Thornhill turns around. He's got a little something to say to Destin Brown. Brown is right behind him in that pistol formation. And the other running back right beside Thornhill is number 21, Timron Brown, I believe. They do give it to Destin Brown. Got hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Good defense again. General defense holds. So nothing in the end zone yet for the Colonels and Destin Brown.
And clock down at 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Colonels leading 41-27. This is an absolutely must stop, and pray that Walker Allen doesn't get an opportunity to kick a field goal.
Yeah, for William Campbell, like you said, you got to have a stop here. You'd love for somebody to cough the football up for Altavista. For the Colonels, even if you don't get in, the clock continues to run. As long as you hold on to the football, you got to feel pretty good about your chances. Colonels are going to go from 2 tight end power I formation. 3 running backs in the backfield with Juan Thornhill. Now, they got to go. They've taken a lot of time getting this play in. Thornhill gives it to Destin Brown again. This time, Brown's going to get in the end zone. Right side off that right tight end. Touchdown, Colonels. It comes with 2:56 to go in the game. Called a 3-yard touchdown run for Destin Brown. He got him to the doorstep. He kept knocking on the door, ringing the bell. You knew he was going to get in eventually, and he did.
Nice job by the Colonels' offensive line on that, allowing him to seal up those blocks and him to get out to the outside.
They brought Andrews in as a tight end, one of those tight ends, and they ran to his side. He made a good block. Kick up from Walker Allen. It is good. So that will add to this lead, 48-27 now. Colonels have stretched it back out to a 21-point lead. 2:56 remains in the football game here on 105.5 KD Country.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Destin Brown gets in for a 3-yard touchdown after the long 40-plus yard touchdown run that got him close. Colonels stretch this lead out to 21. And Oscar, it looks like William Campbell's going to fight their way back in. Every time it looks like that, Altavista just adds another one on, back up to a 21-point lead again for the Colonels.
That one was a 5-play, 49-yard drive. It took 3 minutes off the clock, which was huge. And the big play on that, was, of course, was the 45-yard run by Brown.
Yeah, you got to give the Colonels defense a lot of credit prior to that as well, as they got off the field, got the stop, forced William Campbell to turn it over on downs after the incomplete pass. You know, the Generals were on the Altavista side of the 50. If they could have scored there, that would have made it a one-score game. Then it's anybody's guess as to what happens. Colonels D gets the stop, then Destin Brown really does the rest. A lot of help from the O-line, though. 2:56 remains here. Colonels have got 48. William Campbell has 27. William Campbell's probably got to score quick and score often. Line drive kick from Walker Allen, fielded on the 15. William Campbell's going to go right up the gut with it. They've got some yards here. Wow, big hit from Destin Brown. Running back did not go down, but boy, Destin Brown laid a shot into him.
That was DeAnthony Jones on the return. That's the first time we've called him tonight, but Destin Brown did stand him up, hit him hard.
Yeah, good return by Jones, but he was greeted rudely by Brown. Hard to believe he didn't go down, though. Got to give him some credit there. So William Campbell will take over from their own 39-yard line, right at the 40-yard line. Right at the 35-yard line, excuse me. 2:43 to go. Again, if William Campbell has a chance, it's going to happen quick. Can't take a lot of time. Then an onside kick would have to be recovered after that. They're down 3. Thornhill's going to back up even a little bit deeper than usual in the safety spot. He's anticipating the pass. Man in motion. Lockett fakes to him, throws left sideline. Great pass break up from Jacob East. East jumped up, got a hand on it. He's done that a couple times tonight, Oscar.
Yeah, he has. He deflected that with his left hand. It kind of popped it up in the air. He almost was able to pull that ball in for the interception.
Great looking play right there. It's either looking for Adams or Slayton down that sideline. It's Patrick Lockett in at the quarterback. We've seen Damian Lockett in at the quarterback. We've seen Tyrell Staten in at the quarterback. They've all had their turn back there. And William Campbell will have 2nd and 10 now. Left hash mark. Altavista's linebackers not showing blitz. They're back in coverage. Demetrius Johnson's got a hand on him. He's going to pull him down. Big sack right there from Johnson. And Brendan Patrick, that's Markel Payne was in there with him. Cody Andrews as well.
East, Thornhill, Michie, and Timron Brown. Great job in the secondary with coverage, not being able to allow anybody to get open.
Great coverage. Great pass rush there. Both the Johnson brothers. Darius is 10, Demetrius is 6. We mentioned when they meet in the backfield, it's normally because one or both of them is in on a sack or a tackle for a loss. That was the case there.
And had some conversation with a couple of kids a couple of guys that work with the Gretna football program, and they were very impressed by the Johnson brothers last week.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be? They were in the Hawks' backfield quite a bit. They play those bookend defensive end spots. Blitz coming here from Altavista. Lockett had to get rid of it quick. It's incomplete over the head of Easley, and that'll bring up 4th and 20. Minute 38 to go. We'll see what Coach Mullins elects to do here, 4th and really long. Looks like he's probably going to go for it. I think that's the right play. You go for it. Maybe you break a long one, then you try the onside kick.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he'll do. And then on the converse, if they don't get it, then I think what you'll see Altavista do is go very conservative and probably take a knee.
Yeah. Thornhill's back deep, 20 yards. Small back's way back deep. Short pass is complete. They got some room up the left sideline here. First down's been attained, and they get about 6 more, so big pickup there for William Campbell.
Nice conversion. They were able to get him open on that left-hand side. Looked like the Colonels were going to be able to contain him, but showed some good speed on that.
Yeah, I think it was Slayton on the catch and run there, and pretty smart play call from Coach Mullins. 4th and 20, everybody expects you to chuck it deep. They just throw the short one and run for it there. A lot of times that's the best way to go, especially when those safeties back up. You got some room to run. William Campbell's still got a long way to go to get in the end zone. And they're running out of time to do it. 1:08. Snap gets bounced around. Lockett couldn't handle it, but it gets bounced over to Damian Lockett, who's going to go left side. He's got some room. Thornhill missed the tackle. He will get run down, though, at the 17-yard line. And it's Darius Johnson that ran him down. Darius had to catch him real deep as he made Thornhill miss. Again, busted play sometimes is your best play.
Gain of 30. That ball, the quarterback wasn't ready for that snap. It bounced off his helmet. Had a person in motion. He grabbed the ball, and he was gone.
Yeah, sometimes the timing or the mishandled snap hurts the offense. Sometimes it helps them. Quick snap again. Lockett's going to throw deep. Right sideline. He's got Rashawn Lee. Did he get a foot in? He caught it. Touchdown. Wow. Rashawn Lee, great catch. He's made a bunch of them tonight. I believe it's his second touchdown reception. Makes this ball game 48-27.
Yeah, Lee's shown himself to be a very, very capable wide receiver. Has burned the Colonel's secondary on several occasions.
Yeah, it's just a tough play to stop. They've run it a lot. That fade route along the sideline. Lee runs it really well. And he's got some height, and he can jump. Makes it really tough to defend.
And in most of those plays, nothing against Michi because he's been there, but, he's only 5'7", and he's pushing it.
Absolutely. I mean, you take advantage of those matchups. William Campbell's done that a bunch tonight. Roll out here from Lockett. They're going for two. He looked for Lee. Lee had a receiver right beside him. A lot of people in a small space there, and the pass is incomplete. 2-point conversion is no good. Makes the game 48-33. We've got 46 seconds left in this ball game. We'll take a quick timeout here on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Fellers Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Fellers Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
46 seconds remains in the ball game here. Oscar Altavista still on top, 48-33, but William Campbell's cut into that lead again. They picked up a big fourth down. They've done that a couple times tonight and gone on to score. Going to have to pick up a big onside kick here, though, or this one is really all over with.
Well, I agree, Kyle. And again, 46 seconds left and 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, if William Campbell had 3 timeouts, then you could possibly think about forcing Altavista to punt. But with 2, if Altavista recovers the onside kick here, that's going to be all she wrote. Altavista does have the hands team up there. It's really a lot of the same guys. They've just got Thornhill's up on the front line. Both Johnson brothers are up on the front line. Cody Andrews is up on the front line. And it looks like Tim Ron Brown. Here comes the quick kick from William Campbell. They huddled up, went with the muddle huddle, kicked it short. Thornhill recovers. So Altavista will take over on the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. William Campbell trying to catch Altavista a little bit by surprise. It was a great effort, but Thornhill was right there to field a one-hopper. 46.2 seconds remains. I'm thinking you see three kneel downs from the Colonels.
I think that's exactly what Coach Shorness will normally do.
Yep. And they're in the victory formation here. Thornhill under center. 2 tight end to each side, and then 3 running backs right behind him in case something goes crazy. It doesn't. Snaps fielded clean. Don't think William Campbell will stop the clock.
And we didn't see a bull rush either from William Campbell. So.
No, not like the NFL style. You try and get a cheap shot in there. William Campbell, very classy here. They're going to drop to 0-6, Oscar. And again, that is just shocking. If you told me William Campbell will be 0-6 at this point, I'd find that pretty hard to believe. Again, they're probably one of the best winless teams you'll ever find. Second kneel down comes with 16 seconds, and that'll do it. Altavista walks off. So do the Generals. They'll line it up on the 50-yard line and shake hands. Colonel's a big winner here tonight. They go to 5-1, 2-0 in the district. 48-33 is the final score. We'll take a timeout and come back